See the wheel? See the wheel right there?
Yep, yeah, see the wheel.
There should not be a truck right here.
Tammy mentioned about, you know, and this is the haunting phrase, is that I found this place in the river where I could drive my truck into and nobody'd ever find me. Married for almost 42 years. When she just left one day, it's been 146 weeks ago.
She drives a 2008
Chevy Colorado.
and you know her dog normally rides in the back of the truck.
Well, I ain't been out like this in a while.
Right here is what we're looking at. What we now need to do is we need to put ourselves right over the top of it, because now we're going to be able to use the live scope. Then that will actually tell us exactly how tall it is.
This is the Big Bend boat launch. I've been here 30 times. I'm sure until, you know, when we find Tammy or find some other clue, I'll be here 30 more times.
We got something else there too.
You know, the scope of possibilities are getting cut down a lot.
This is no joke on this one. That's a truck. Wheels, truck. I find that this is always the most difficult part. Telling Bob, telling the family, telling Bob.
No giving up on you guys.
Thank you. Great Falls, Montana. We're looking for Tammy Goff, who went missing back in 2018. Now, the strange thing about this story is that Sadie, her dog, her best friend in the whole entire world, ended up leaving the house with her that morning, and 2 days later was found swimming the river to get to these two dogs. This is one episode you are not going to want to miss. Bob, thank you for bringing us into your home.
Well, thank you for coming, man. I really super appreciate your assistance here.
Yeah, you know, we're really going to take this story, you know, the story of Tammy and the story of your family, and turn this into a bigger education for other people. Because what we're seeing is we're really seeing a movement, you know, that more and more people are getting involved in the, Jared, how can we start searching within our own area? So we really appreciate our conversation we had yesterday evening as to, yes, let's take the time to not only, you know, search for Tammy, but as well as, you know, educate. Why do we use the boats that we use? Why do we use the sonar that we use? You know, let's take a look at, you know, here's where Tammy lived, here's where Tammy visited. We're gonna quit rambling on and let's just kind of jump into it and tell us about it.
You know, I have you know, my wife and I had been married for almost 42 years. When she just left one day, it's been 146 weeks ago then. We've had just pretty much like zero clues. You know, OnStar in a car was a failure. The cell phone pings didn't turn out anything. Financial records didn't turn out anything.
What would you have done differently? How long did you wait, and why did you wait a certain period of time? And then what happened, you know, with law enforcement once you did so? And was it just like, hey, Bob, don't worry about it, we're on the case now,
Right.
Sit back and we got this, and then nothing happens? Or take us down that route.
You know, roughly 8 o'clock she went missing. It was about 3:30 or so when I finally called the police. You know, so roughly 7 hours or so.
And then working with the authorities as well. I mean, did you feel like immediately like, hey, this is, you know, the husband, we immediately suspect him? Did you feel like you had any of that right off the bat, especially, you know, within, you know, 7 hours? Because it's like, oh, why is he reporting it? So, like, did you get the, why is he reporting it so soon?
You call looking for that support, and then you have that sense or feeling like you're a suspect. I got kind of like angry or frustrated with law enforcement, and then you start looking at their point of view. You know, they can't divulge so much information. They got to treat you as a suspect. You know, I'd say it's been well over a year before they just kind of, okay, yeah, this is a family matter. This isn't you know, a homicide or something. You know, that's the worst part about all that, is just not knowing. You know, after those first 2 weeks, you know, I'm just constantly looking out in the driveway, and you just your wishful thinking is that that the truck's going to pull up with her in it this someday. I mean, you just 2.5 years later, it's still hard to talk about it out loud, but it does help. Even to think that she is possibly dead right now. It was well over a year before I could say that. We got 5 grandchildren, 2 sons, wonderful family. And there's just no way that she would have just left and left all that behind without saying something.
With this, it's always a tough thing because we never want to, believe that our loved one would do that, but all too often, some of the things we were talking about last night with you and some of the other cases that we've been on, it's like we go back in time and we talk to the families and they're like, you know what, they did say this, and it wasn't until like they neared the investigation, like we found the person, they're like, oh yeah, I left out this little detail, or yes, this was said to the family,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, they did have, mental or physical or health issues as well. So kind of let's go back a little bit further in time as well with Tammy. The best thing for all of this, in our discussion, it would be like, yes, this was nothing more than an accident.
Mm-hmm.
But then we have the reality that we were talking about last night is, Tammy attempted years earlier, and
that's just always been such a don't talk about that. We don't want to have that out in the media. We don't want to talk about. It's the dark secret that a lot of families hold. That's the strong possibility that Tammy had suffered with depression and anxiety and things for pretty much her whole life. And we had earlier attempts, and I've told the rest of the family, hey, we're all in this little club that nobody wants to be in of surviving families of somebody that might have taken their own life. A lot of the other family members, we all cope with it in different ways, whether you're my 2 sons, I don't think I can forgive Mom for this. Excuse me. But that was really tough. I have worked with them, trying to work through that they just thought that this was something that she did out of spite for them. This searching that myself and the family have been doing in the river, there's really just zero proof that, besides our gut feeling that she's in the river. This has been therapy for me with the boat and on the river, is that, it keeps me busy. As time goes on, the hope that she's going to pull up in the driveway and her pickup start fading away. The hope is someday at least find out what the heck happened, but I'll never stop loving her.
But let's go down the road of just our own experience with this. We get called out to come help families, and with the foul play, that always seems to be like one of the very, very last things. Like, it is a very small percentage in any of these that if they are in the water. Mm-hmm. We have for the recoveries that we've done, more than half of them, and I appreciate, like you said, this is like that dark secret that families just don't want to talk about. And we appreciate you opening up. We've had Brock the Rock that works with us as well, and he talks about him being a vet and thoughts with vets, and as well as my own experience. I grew up in a very up and down, and I grew up in the foster care system, and rough times, or just being a dad in general, and the financial burdens, and my own thoughts as well. If we can kind of go back in time as to what was happening, but you were talking about the love, and we were talking about that last night, is that you don't see Tammy just doing this, but Tammy was very loving, that if she did commit, she did so each time, each attempt, in such a loving way. So if you don't mind, can we go back to 2010 and what led up to that one, and then here we are with 2018 in kind of a similar scenario.
Back in 2010, and she had attempted to take her own life at that time, that it was family was on the road coming home, and that, afterwards, talking to her about that, is that, why did you pick this particular day? And it was that, well, I didn't want you to be alone. I wanted you to have family, with you when you found me. So she had major issues physically, some mental stuff going on, and that she had seen these issues with her mom, with my stepmom, saw these things coming down the road, and the issues that the older parents create on the family, and decided that she didn't want to burden. Your family's never gonna, just say, oh, thank God that grandma's gone, or mom's gone, or sister's gone. So please, just talk it out, get some, take your medication, go to your therapy, work it out, but it's not the answer. If I had to go back again, I don't know what to do different, From 2010, Tammy had, taken two and a half times a lethal dose, and if this is really the case, that, hey, I had 8 bonus years with her.
So now we fast forward 8 years, these 8 bonus years that you have. Now kind of set the stage again, same thing. We have family that's come into town.
The situations are just so similar. Why is the search going on in the river? It was probably like 4 or 5 weeks afterwards that, the people were coming forward saying, well, Tammy mentioned about, and this is the haunting phrase, is that, I've found this place in the river where I could drive my truck into, and nobody'd ever find me. It turns out that she had mentioned it to several people, and nobody pressed her on the subject on, where this place was. But, that keeps me awake a lot at night. Jared, with this, looking on your videos of what you do, is just, I've just come to realize just how tough this is. When you call the police or you call the sheriff's department and you say, search the river for my wife, you just think, we all kind of look at CSI this or, TV of that. Somebody solves the case in a week. It's just not always that easy. It's not just a river. We've done airplane searches, helicopter searches, community support with driving roads, TV ads, radio ads.
Coming back to the, working with law enforcement, like you pointed out, they don't have all the tools and technology that, we've come into this as we've niched down. This is what we do. We found, hey, this is what works for us. We're able to traverse those shallow pockets and then get into the deeper pockets as well. And this is one of the things I'd like to, point out to the viewers as well is, we're going to talk about those topside, that have a boat that identifies something. But then really, you're talking about the difficulties in finding somebody, but here's what I want to, share with you as well as, everybody watching. Reach out, just start doing a Google search for local dive shops in your area, because guess what? There's dive masters, there's swiftwater rescue, there's so many trainings that a lot of these divers go through, and to be honest with you, Sam and I, we have none of those trainings. We are strictly nothing more than open water certified, mainly for the main purpose so we can get our air filled, because you have to have certification to get your tanks filled. Let me introduce you to, Jim and Katie as well. We've got, a dive master here from Butte that came up because he said, we did a live stream a couple days ago, and we said, hey, we're going to be in the area. If you have any skills that, and you can come help us. They said, yeah, we have skills. I'm a dive master. Tell us about some of your trainings that you've been through.
Well, I'm with Anaconda Search and Rescue, Ruby Valley Search and Rescue, and I just completed the Swiftwater course. I'm a dive master for Helena Scuba and also Flathead Scuba, and then I also have my own little company, Rocky Mountain Divers Search and Recovery, where we help wreckers and stuff like that for cars going in the water, or even if somebody had an accident, flipped over a boat, we'll search for them and recover people also.
Again, this is about education. When do we charge for certain things, and when do we not? It's like, hey, somebody dropped their boat in the river, they know where it's at, they're going to pay us to come get their boat. But for something like this, if Bob or anybody else was to call the scuba shop and like, hey, I have a lost loved one, this is what we're about. This is about humanity and helping out one another. We really invite fishermen to really come into this, because you guys as fishermen are the ones that are on the rivers all the time, and some of you invested like $100,000 in your boats and your sonar. Start looking around any boat ramp, a set of tracks going into the river, scan there. A vehicle will float for 2 to 10 minutes, 2 to 12 minutes. Let's keep this movement going, that more and more people are getting involved in it, more and more cold cases are being solved. Fingers crossed we're going to be able to solve this in the next day or two, or this week with Tammy. George here is previous retired law enforcement diver as well. Everybody is willing to come together, and this is you coming together with this as well. We fast forward from 2010 to 2018 now, and we kind of touched on, it's a similar scenario. We have the first time was your older son was coming into town. This time it was your younger son that came into town for a birthday.
Yeah, they're already here. My youngest son, the granddaughter, a day apart in their birthdays, so they were in town to celebrate the birthdays. With some of the issues that Tammy was having with depression and anxiety and stuff, would be just this would bring her out of her shell. Can't be any happier than a granddaughter's birthday. Thinking this was going to be the cure for things, and it ended up being just the moment that Tammy must have been picking to do something.
So now let's go to the day of.
The son and daughter-in-law and granddaughter had been staying with us for several days, and then they had just left the night before to just go across town. We were prepping our yard, getting it all cleaned up for 40-some people to come over on. This was a Thursday morning. I got up, took a shower, and when I got out of the shower, Tammy and the dog Sadie, they were driving off. I didn't think anything about that.
She drives a 2008,
Chevy Colorado,
Chevy Colorado,
black,
and her dog.
Right.
Normally rides in the cab with her. Normally rides in the back of the truck. And let me explain this for city folk that don't understand this. That this is not animal cruelty or anything. Like we country folk is like load up. Right. The dog gets in the truck, and the dog loves running back and forth and looking over the edge, and
Some of that's a little extreme. You get the farm dogs, they're on a flatbed on a hay bale, and their blue heeler is standing on this hay bale. It's like that looks a little scary to me. But that is country life. Yeah.
So we have a last scene at home, but now we're at your dad's house. So why do we think that your dad's house may come into play, even though we have zero witnesses once she left the house?
This is Mouse the cat. Never left the house. Was always in the house. It was just that age, didn't go to the vet or anything. So when I came over to the house looking for Tammy, the cat was gone. And that was another what the heck, where's the cat at?
The cat lived alone. Like your dad does not live here, so your
correct,
your father's has already passed away.
Yep. She was very happy just living here on her own. For me to come over and not see Mouse, initially it wasn't like totally like the sirens going off that I couldn't find Mouse initially, but it was like later in the day, come back still, put some food out, food hasn't been disturbed, it's like, well, Mouse must not be here.
So now we have Tammy's truck is missing, Tammy's missing, Sadie the dog is missing, Mouse the cat is missing. Sadie was actually found.
That day, the police did get involved. They did some cell phone pings. Then the Friday, we still didn't really know where to search, where to look at. And Sadie turns up at a woman's house on the Missouri River. She had seen Sadie come out of the river in front of her property. She coaxed Sadie into her garage and shut the door, and posted on Facebook, animal lost and found. Once we determined that Sadie showed up along this section of the river, that was when the search really started. The question was, why did Sadie swim the river? She had never liked to swim. She was in unfamiliar territory on the one side of the river, and our friends lived across the river that had dogs that Sadie would play with.
And so the two dogs that Sadie recognized was near the property to where the
Correct,
person-
yeah. So if Sadie would have jumped into the river directly across from our friends, the current carried her down. You know, it was 4 properties to this woman that eventually that she came out of the river at, that found her, was 4 properties down. Cascade County map with the Missouri River, where we've been pretty much focusing our search on. We probably got, 60 miles of river.
So this is your home.
Correct.
All right. That's
where we're at
currently
right now. Yeah, correct. Yellow pins are cell phone pings.
The 2 homes here, a potential cell phone ping here, and then cell phone towers that are pinging here. So everything right now
Going south.
is moving south. So Thursday here, moves a little bit south, spotted first light on Friday, makes her way back down 5 miles throughout the day, last seen that evening.
Correct.
Around 5 o'clock.
Yeah, 5 o'clock the next day then is when Sadie was seen coming out of the river then.
Your newest picture that you sent me, where was that one from? Which pin is that?
This area right over here, just outside of Ulm.
In my opinion, I don't feel like it's a vehicle of any sort, but again, I wasn't in your boat, I wasn't using your sonar, I don't know the direction, so
Right.
like we've mentioned before, we've had something look like a tractor that turned out to be a car before.
Mm-hmm.
Sadie, that's my biggest thing that I'm seeing in all this is Sadie in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about this anomaly, or this location, and this one of
So
interest for you.
this has always been our ground zero. The people will launch like kayaks and jet ski kite trailers in. I've scanned it over 30 different days. The flow is going southwest to northeast.
Oh.
And then this location, my daughter-in-law grew up on the river. They call that area Dead Man's Curve. They looked for a vehicle in there at one time and pulled 6 vehicles out. I would still appreciate, us, just looking that over again at some point.
Let me just take this one off your plate right away. That's going to be so easy for us to get in there.
Right.
Bob, I'm going to give you an answer whether we have a vehicle there or not, and if we need to dive on it.
Okay.
But my gut right here is telling me, I think the dog is the big key in all this. Between those two, where the dog was found, where the dog was first seen, where it was seen the next morning, multiple times along here, I'm really concentrating on, especially starting at that.
That's what I say, that's ground zero. Why is Sadie just laying peacefully, calm, dry, underneath his pine tree in his yard on the day that something might have happened with Tammy?
At what time though?
At 1 o'clock, and that was 1 o'clock. He went out to move the sprinklers in his yard, and here's Sadie, laying underneath the pine tree, calm, not excited at all. We actually discovered several years ago a vehicle that, the sheriff's department had said, there's no way there's a vehicle in that area, and we found it.
And on the map, where was that one found?
That was actually really close to why we were even looking there, is that we found it in that section where Sadie swam the river. And it just happened to be on a curve in the road, and there was some questionable tire tracks that were upriver from it, so that all things were pointing towards that.
And so that's going to be another hot spot for us, knowing that a vehicle has gone off there before as well.
Right.
And even though they scanned it, maybe they didn't scan far enough. Like, a vehicle is going to float.
Sure,
or,
exactly.
maybe, with this being a lighter 4-door, Doug's a tow guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a lighter 4-door, 1 o'clock Thursday. But then, same guy, heading to the gym the next morning,
about 6:30
in the morning.
Next morning. His dogs are waiters, and what he said about seeing Sadie that first light on that Friday, but he said Sadie that morning was totally wet, head and everything, and pacing back and forth in front of his house. Over the road.
So we have a heavy concentration of sightings the day of and the next morning of in this area.
Correct.
She never wanted to leave the water.
She didn't want to leave that area.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I never
but
did.
we need to hit this.
Yeah.
We're putting in here. Our concentration is from here to here. All right. Well, let's quit talking about it. Let's get on the water, Bob.
Okay.
So this location that we're at is the first pin drop that was of interest to Bob. Now what I'm not seeing here, just based upon the aerial here, is I'm not actually seeing a way for a vehicle to drive off into the water here. Unless we have like maybe this one here. So I don't know where the GPS coordinates are at yet, and we'll figure that out. But the great thing is about this drone that we've got here, in fact maybe right there, you might have a drive off right there. The great thing about this drone is look, we can actually see the bottom of the river here because we have the polarizing filter on it, and we actually have some water clarity in there. Oh no, that's just mud moving. Look, you can see the river mud moving.
That's pretty good.
Is that insane? Well, let's get the boat pumped up and in and go see what we can find. So George, where we just pulled the RV up to over here, it looked like it had a bunch of posts there.
Yeah, so you can't launch a boat there. That's what that is
Or
for.
a vehicle.
Yeah, a vehicle.
But right here, you guys have suspected that possibly, I mean, you can get a vehicle between these two trees right here.
Mm-hmm.
And so so where did you actually find this anomaly from this location? Where are we going to be looking at?
See, we figured the vehicle would go out about 45 to 50 feet, drift 200 or 300 feet. Pickup would go over like this and drift down, and that's just about where we found the magnetic hit or the on the object on the fish finder.
And what did you guys, I mean, and by magnetic hit, just what you've seen on sonar only, you've not put a magnet on it, or you have put a magnet in the water as well?
See, when we first started, I went and bought these magnets because I didn't know how to read a fish finder, and neither did Bob.
Okay.
So that was our biggest weakness. So we studied all winter this time, and so I went and got these powerful magnets, and I was throwing them out, and Bob had his. And in 2019, I hit on this object, but I didn't know it because we didn't know how to do a fish finder.
Okay.
It was in the fall of the year, and we didn't come back, and then we had the COVID-19 hit. So then this year, as soon as we got out here and dropped our magnets, but we got a hit on there first. And I dropped my magnet and everybody else, and we got 6 feet apart, whatever it is. So, and then that's how we decided to take this spot.
So, I mean, so do you think that she might have dropped the dog off in a familiar neighborhood first and then come here? Or are we still, my gut is still saying the other neighborhood.
I'm still saying neighborhood.
But we have something here that...
Yeah, this needs to be
But
checked.
see, I think she created a diversion. She didn't want to be found.
Right.
Because I do profiling, because when I worked for the sheriff's office, and I think she dropped her cat and dog out there, buried her cat. I think I found the grave site, but I'm not sure. And then I think then she came out here. She had a suspended driver's license, so she couldn't go very far.
Okay.
And then, and one of her things, it was like she didn't want to be found. She didn't want to be in a, what do you call it, mortuary or anything.
Right.
So I figured she got to run at it from back there. We measured 30 feet or so, but she could also come down that road. Because I photographed this area in 2019 after I started working with Bob. You can see where the tree branches were broke. And there was two concrete pillars were down here, about 3 foot apart. And this is like a...
So in 2019 is when you got with Bob and, or 18?
2019.
Okay. And you feel like the tree branches were broken a year earlier? Is what they kind of lined up with based upon your previous investigation with the sheriff's office.
Because I went out to Big Bend 30 or 40 times, and then it was obvious after I did some more planning with this, and I think come out here and took a look.
I mean, that drops quick too.
Yeah. I think this is 18 feet or 9 feet, I don't know.
And when you guys scanned it, it's 11 to 15 feet in this area where you found the anomaly.
It's the object is about 8 foot of water.
Okay.
And that's all you need is what, 8 foot to cover up a vehicle.
It does,
looks
it
like
does
it's
fit
upside
with
down.
the phrase that was said too. You know, it does fit that as
Yeah.
far as I found somewhere.
Right.
So.
And it's very quiet out here.
Super
I mean,
quiet.
nobody's gonna hear anything.
And your idea of, her dropping the cat and dog off or whatever to create a diversion, I mean, that fits. Most people with depression are extremely smart.
Yeah.
And their mind's always going, so they're always coming up with things, or ideas. So that would...
Because I do handwriting analysis, and he gave me some of her stuff, and it showed she was a planner. So then I thought, okay, she did that. She got here, but we're going to find out.
All right.
I feel a little bit better ruling this out. It's not so far-fetched.
No.
I mean, honestly, the dog still could have rode water up or rode the bank up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
That's a possibility.
Just dropping the dog off.
Yeah.
You know, to throw off the trail, but then the dog to be wet and spending time in the water.
Got the whole thing pumped up already?
Oh, just the one floor. We'll do the side. So we want electrical tape out of the door, and then we want to extend the entire pole, and then make the proper adjustments.
What we're using today, we actually have this cable that's going to allow us to connect to the GoPro, and we're going to run this on a pole, and the other end of the cable is going to be out. Then we're going to connect to the GoPro through our app, and we'll actually be able to see what's down below just by using the GoPro and a cell phone with the app.
Nice.
Yep. And with the cable, just to give you a little bit more information on that, it's like a special RFGB something cable. I forget exactly, I'll put a link down below. But what we do is we're going to strip one end of it, and so we're actually going to use it wirelessly. So while we say connect, we're actually not connecting it to the actual GoPro. No. We're not actually connecting it to the phone. We're using it as the wireless feed by putting the wire at the back of the GoPro, running the hard wire up, so that way then we can use it wirelessly from the top side with the phone. And the great thing about it is it's going to give us a live feed rather than in the previous where we actually had to bring the GoPro up, review the footage, and then, you know, see if we had to put the camera back down after that. So now we can actually turn the camera.
Makes it way more efficient.
Oh, 100%.
Big cut.
What is that, about 25 feet?
24.
24 feet.
You got to put your hand way down there, maybe get another 2 feet or something.
Many of you have seen our shows before and us out here helping families. And if you have, you've seen us use these small boats quite a bit. Now the reason why we use these is, yes, while it's nice to have a big boat, you know, Bob had to go find a boat ramp up the river, but we've also been in other rivers where there was no boat access at all. And so by having the small inflatable, we're able to just carry it in. If there's a shore, any access to the river, we can just drop it right on in.
Nice.
When we drop it. No, I got the rope. I was just I didn't bring the M12. Let me put that on there. I'll tighten that up.
Where's your electrical tape?
Should be in the door there.
Right.
In one of those bins down there. There's different size magnets that you can, get. Whether you go down to Home Depot and you get yourself a magnet, or these ones are actually fishing magnets. Now, a few of the things that we talk about is, and we actually have them available on adventuresofthepurpose.com. One of the ways that, we come out here free of charge to help these families. But one of the ways that, you, the viewers, can help us out is by just simply watching the videos. Let the ads run. Full transparency is that the ads that you see on the YouTube and Facebook, we actually get like half a cent, and that helps put gas in the tank. But in addition to that is all the other equipment that we need to buy and help move this movement forward, as well as now things start happening like hand-me-downs and right, Sam?
Yeah, no, I am a proud recipient of hand-me-downs. So,
yeah. So as we upgrade our equipment for the main AWP, travels, then you have people like Sam, you have people like Brock, to where we're able to take a lot of this equipment and donate it to them. And with your purchases over there on Adventure of the Purpose, you can get yourself an Adventure of the Purpose boat. You can get yourself fishing magnets. You can get yourself, t-shirts and merchandise. And it's our way of not just saying, hey, please kick in and just donate to the cause. It's our way of saying, thank you for participating in this with us. And it's our way that we can give back and that you can also participate in all this. So for that, that's my one and only pitch for you today. Just like I said, full transparency, so that way, like I said, we cannot be doing this without you and you're involved in it. So thank you very much. I made sure it was long enough for the pole. Now you don't want to twist it around that.
No.
Because
You wanna
remember,
coil
we're going to end up putting the pole away.
Yeah, so we have to close it.
Yeah, I trust you. You figure it out. So going down the path of education today for those of you who want to get into this or just to have a better understanding, like Jared, why do you use a certain motor? If we're in a river or we're somewhere where, with current and we're going to be fighting it to where a trolling motor is not going to be the best thing, for us personally, we like to use a 6 horsepower. The reason for it is it weighs the same as a 5 horsepower, but it has a built-in gas tank as well. When you jump up an 8 horsepower, 9 horsepower, now you have to have an extra fuel tank as opposed to the built-in. So for me personally, I've got the Tohatsu, which is the exact same, identical as Sam's Mercury. So both of these are 6 horsepower, built in the same factory. This one's a little bit less expensive than the Mercury. You're paying for nothing more than the name brand on that one. We also use trolling motors, so this is a 30-pound thrust, or 30-pound thrust trolling motor. We have some new 55s that just came in as well, and the reason why we don't go past 55 is because we use the marine batteries, the deep cycle marine batteries, which are 12-volt batteries. If you go beyond a 55-pound thrust for a trolling motor, now you have to bump up to a 24-volt, which means you now have 2 marine batteries that you're tying together to make 24 volts. So it just adds a lot more weight. So hope that helps you guys.
Yeah, so I'm thinking my this where I pass, like it's something just upstream from the buoy there, then the buoy's just slightly down, maybe the anchor's on it or something.
Upstream and then...
Yeah, upstream and a little on the outside.
So on the outside of the buoy, from what I understood, and the buoy is just upstream from the target.
Yep.
Okay.
And buoys, so the buoy's right there. The target should just be just a little bit in front of it.
More towards the river.
Yeah, towards the riverside though, not the bank.
So right now, to show everybody what it is that we're looking at and how we read this, is this one right here is our side imaging. Right now we're casting 50 feet to the left and 50 feet to the right. Anything that you see where the boat is at, down is the black water column, is from the boat to the bottom of the river. And so you'll see it's 8 feet, and if you look at like these lines, 12 feet, 24, 36, 50, so we're looking at, as this goes up, 9 feet, you'll see how that moved a little bit. So that's 8.5 feet, 9 feet deep right here. Now we're hitting a deeper hole. So you see the deeper hole, and it got deeper, now it's getting shallower again. So up and down and up and down. Now this one here is our down imaging. So this one goes straight down from the boat, and so here's the top of the boat, here's down to the river bottom. So that's down imaging. This one over here is what we call our live scope. So these two are a picture in time. This is what we've just passed over. This is what we've just passed over. Whereas this one is live. So any fish that you see swimming in here, any targets, we'll actually be able to see those in real time. So we're gonna head back up to the buoy and see if it shows up on live scope and where it shows up on side imaging and down imaging. Between the 3 of them, we're able to identify whether we have a vehicle in here or not. Absolutely. Now the best way to scan also, and I've mentioned a few times as far as scanning, when you're scanning in a river, the best thing to do is actually head upstream against the current. We also want our speed to be roughly 1.9 to 2.5 miles an hour, gives us the best reading. All right, so we're coming up, we're about 50 feet away from the marker right now that they put down. .1 miles an hour. There's the buoy right there. Nothing showing up on sonar yet. So that's a tree log is what that is. It's not a vehicle. You can tell by like all the branches that are in here. So we're gonna stop this and scroll up and zoom in, and so you can see the tree shadows and the branches coming off of here. So that one like curves up, that one just goes straight across with the shadows coming behind it because we were over here in the middle. So think of it like a flashlight and shadows. We were hitting it from this angle, and these are all the shadows behind it from the tree stump. Now, just to confirm though, we're gonna head back over it at different angles, just to confirm that this is really what we're seeing.
We definitely got to double check.
Triple check, quadruple check.
Yep. Make sure that we are sure.
Going downriver, you can see we picked up speed here, and we're going cross current, so we're gonna get a really weird read on it
we're
now.
going pretty fast.
Yeah. So that's what a downstream cross current looks like for that same object. So now we're gonna spin back around here onto the buoy. And now we hit the buoy from the left side before. Now we're gonna hit the buoy from the right side so we can get a different read from the other side. And then we'll do a read right over the top of it is what we're gonna do after that. Things are perfect. There's our buoy. And our target should be on the left now. So same thing, picking up a tree log there, picking up a tree log there, not a vehicle. 100% not a vehicle. But that's only for that area right there. What we have is the suspect of, we need to clear the rest of this now.
Yeah, you got a big area here.
Yep. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna concentrate. Sam and I feel 100% confident that that is not a vehicle at all, just for kicks. We're gonna cross over it one more time. And this time we're gonna go right over the top of it so that way we can get a great visual as we park the boat over the top of it with the live scope, because that one we don't have to be moving with the live scope. We can just park it, get a few different readings right over the top of it. So with that you can see it's only 1.5 feet tall. Definitely not what we're looking for. Really slow. See how it gives a distortion of the logs and what you're seeing down there? All right, well let's run at a regular search pattern then on this, Sam. Hey Bob. So every occasion that we went over it, each time 100% it was a tree.
I don't know if there's any, you know, if you'd want to scan any more down, back.
100%. We have not scanned this at all, and so we're going to take our time and we're going to clear this entire area from where we feel like the vehicle could have traveled to. All right, on that, let's keep the search going. I'm not going to put anything past that tree, especially for how this current is going. I know he said it was a little bit higher at the time, but even with that, based on Nathan Ashby and how the Missouri, the Mighty Mo was a lot swifter there, Nathan's vehicle is not further than that. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to base this one on. I never want to say that I'm 100% confident, but I'm fairly confident that this area is clear, Sam. So
Yep.
This one's clear, and let's go to what we're calling ground zero on this one.
All right, Duncan, here's what I'm seeing. So we're right here, and going back to the map that we were looking at earlier, this is where we are at right now. There was a dog sighting here, and just right around here is where we should start seeing, you know, where the dog was put in at.
Well, you know, and Bob says that he's cleared this spot. Well, he says that he's scanned the spot at least 30 times. But again, we go back to, we've not scanned it, so let's put the boat in, let's scan it. One thing that I'm already seeing, I mean, I'm just seeing how shallow it already is right here. Dropped off right about there. I mean, of course you have that boat track that you have.
Yeah.
So I'm really not banking on a vehicle being right here.
No. Maybe take it down there.
And so, yeah, so then what I'm looking for is, let's scan this real quick with the boat, but then let's look at additional access points between here and where the dog was at. And I think we're just gonna have to run the next 5 miles on the river here. Yeah, especially with the current here. Like, it's not a swift current. It's, we're gonna be able to hit our 2.5 easy. We'll be able to control this all the way down.
All right.
Okay, I like it. So I was talking to Bob, and he was mentioning there's a lot of backheadies in here.
Yeah.
He said that the day that Tammy, or the next day after Tammy went missing, Bob and I think his name was Rich, they came out here. There were some tire tracks, but we can't discount tire tracks because, I mean, boats, trailers.
Yeah, boat. Launching a boat.
One of the weird things about this spot is, you know, it really slows down here, and there's a back eddy in here. George was talking about a back eddy that they've found drowning victims in here before that went in here, but then they actually ended up upstream because of the back eddy here, and there's supposed to be some pockets in here about 20 feet deep or so. So I think that we need to really clear this area.
Absolutely.
And then really, I think we're gonna run it that, you know, the dog was roughly a mile downstream from here.
Yep.
Was where one of the first 2 sightings started. So,
all right, here we go.
Let's run it, see what we can do. Ready? All right, we are 6 feet deep here. So let's just run it down 200 yards here. Start circling this one. All right, 3 feet, gets real shallow right here. So it won't be close to shore. 2 feet, I said there's a bench down in here too that gets real shallow. I think that one of our things then is where, you know, that road, the frontage road or the Wilson Road here, parallels the river a lot through here. And so we need to look for, you know, an accidental type of location as well as, you know, the intentional.
Yeah.
And then anywhere where that we do see that next to the road, we really want to focus on. And then if we happen to notice any, you know, ramps or anything, let's make sure that we definitely clear those. Really good today as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nothing here. Let's run it back up. And so one of the things with this also for, you know, those who are looking to get into this, although we have 5 miles of river to scan and search, we really only have sections during that 5 miles to scan and search, because, you know, anything where it's completely covered in foliage like this, there's just zero access. And so for that reason, we can kind of skip over that. So we can do a little faster scan, but we're still going to scan all of it between here and where the dog is at. Look at the egg there. Huh. It's a sign. Goose egg?
Got no idea. Goose, maybe? Anyway, guys, so as Jared was saying, you know, the Mercury versus the Tohatsu, I don't know, you might want to reconsider that.
Last time I changed my impeller, and then everything was fine. See, I'm squirting.
Yeah, I see water coming out.
Yeah, I have plenty of water coming out, so it's not the impeller this time. And it's fine in neutral. Nope, it's not fine in neutral. Let's throw your motor on, just to be safe. If we can get back upstream. Alright, it's a good thing we have the emergency oars.
Which come with the boat, by the way, right?
The emergency oars do come with the boat, yes sir.
That's pretty good.
What do you think? Should we risk it? We only have 5 miles to go.
I don't know. I'm good either way. Toss the coin.
I think if we leave the choke out a little bit, we should be alright.
Alright. Here we are. Still showing like 2-3 feet.
We're up to 7 feet right here, so it does drop off enough. Nice thing is that, you know, there's no big rocks or anything. It's all sand down there, and so if there is a vehicle down there, it's going to show up really
Big way.
clear. What we're doing here is the river actually gets really shallow here, and so we're crossing over this little bank here in hopes of getting to deeper water, because one of the things that Bob had mentioned is there's like this little private boat ramp that's back here, and we just want to get into that little private ramp and see if by chance like we have a deeper pocket back here, because remember her statement was you know, I found a deep hole, or, you know, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to put my vehicle in the deep hole that I found it. And she didn't say whether she found it at the river or she found it, you know, at a pond. You know, we haven't ruled out ponds or anything in the area either. So anyway, so we had to pull the motor up, do the paddles for a moment, and that way we could get into this little slough over here. So far on stream here, just a tree stump down there, a couple of limbs coming off of it. We're at 4 feet here, 4.5, so we definitely need deeper, you know, 8 to 15 is what we're hoping for. Yeah, nobody searched this is what he said.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't get another boat in here.
So
5.5 feet. Oh, here's that, that's that ramp we were talking about. We're coming up past it. Nothing's showing up on sonar here. All right, we'll keep running. So with this area right now, it's been about 2.5 hours or so since we last spoke to you. With this one, we've covered a little more than half of the distance from ground zero where we put in. We're heading up to Dead Man's Bend. Along the way, we're gonna stop off, we're gonna meet up with Bob as to where the Tahoe was at. One of the things about this area that we're really searching here is, you know, it is 6.5 feet is what it is right here next to the road. So, you know, if you watched our stuff, you know, we always look at the accident theories in this because we've ran into where like people thought foul play or ended up being nothing more than an accident. So we're still, you know, within distance between where the dog was spotted and where the dog swam the river. We're kind of midpoint between that right now with the road right along the river. So with that one, we're gonna keep scanning, we're gonna keep searching, and we're gonna keep you updated. Okay, well, where's Dead Man's Curve at?
It's just another half a mile if that.
And so that really takes us to the last accidental close to
That's
home.
what I would think, you know. I mean, there's, you know, there's everything else. There's just not, you know, the guardrails and, you know, even they put up guardrails there at Dead Man's Curve, but she could have went off the boat ramp just upstream from it and then went right back in where we've scanned all these. There's a bunch of rocks and boulders, you know, there's debris into there that just needs to be a little bit more, what I would think would be a little bit more refined with your equipment. Just to make sure.
And so the boat ramp is going to be, we're going to hit the boat ramp first and then
correct,
Dead Man's
yeah.
Curve?
There's actually 3 boat ramps right there together. Okay. But you're good here just to kind of work around the island, and then you'll see a big white building. You know, I'll get you on the other side and we'll check it out.
Perfect, sounds good. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, thank you.
Covered a lot of territory today, Sam.
yes, we have.
So first of 3 ramps here, Sam. So 1, 2, and then one by the marina, and then one past the marina. And then I guess there's a hole that everything just floats into. So yeah, down where the guardrail is at, where that yellow sign is at, they just kind of float into there, which makes perfect sense coming in from here. And this is that storage unit that's not locked. But we're also only about 5 feet deep here. This would be the marina, so it's not coming in through the marina locked gate. You got Doug over there hanging out.
I'll pull over real quick and I'll jump off for a second.
We're just gonna finish scanning here. So where that leaves us is we have these 3 boat ramps here. We're gonna finish scanning here down to this hole. There's an 18-foot hole where 6 other vehicles have been found down here before. Now here's the thing with the dog. You know, as George was saying earlier, was it to throw us off on where she might actually, like, hey, you guys should look here and don't look elsewhere for me? Because here's the other thing too. She never left the house with Sadie not having her collar on either. And I don't know if her collar, you know, we'll have to ask Bob this, but did her collar have her name on it? And it's like, hey, we don't want somebody finding, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense.
So what I'm getting at is the fact that the dog was found here means a lot when we haven't searched it. If you're confident when we're done today, tomorrow, however long we're gonna spend in this area, that she's not here, you gotta go back to basics, near the house. You know, you're gonna go. And everything I've read says a dog will travel when it's lost 10 to 20 miles a day easily. And the fact that it was found on the river here is cool. It could have traveled 8 miles. It's only 8 miles upriver. It could have traveled down the bank and just stopped in this area when it recognized a normal, where it was used to, a normal scent, such as the dogs across the river, you know? So the fact that nothing's happened yet, I don't think it's really means nothing at all. It's really the rule of thumb we haven't even touched on yet, which is near the home.
So
8 miles away.
So do we then take and we just draw a radius 5 miles from the house, and we just start looking at every body of water 5 miles from the house? And or do we go further out of town, down the river?
Both have to be done.
Well, I understand that, but which one do we tackle first?
I think the most logical thing would, like, if we didn't have the dog and anything else, where would we be right now? We would be up near the
Closer to the house.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that would be
5 miles radius from the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get on board with that.
Right.
Yeah. This hole right here next to this sign is where they have found 6 other vehicles before. Down in this hole before.
According to the retired cop, 4 of the 6 vehicles that they found here, bodies in them.
Really?
Yes. And this was 20 years ago?
Before the guardrail.
Yeah. The guardrail was down in the UMB boat.
Yeah, we just got rocks down here. No vehicles. Yeah, I'm confident that between ground zero and here, there was only one section up by, was it Larry's or what his name is? There was only that section where there was like a pile of rocks. And there's like a castle house up there.
Everything else is like what, sand?
Everything else is sand. Yeah, I mean, you can tell there's nothing. It's smooth like this. You know, like this is not sandy. This is, sand mixed with some rocks in here. But for sand, it's like you won't see any of these at all. And that's what it was coming through all that river today.
Yeah.
Here it is. I mean, it's 4 o'clock now, and we put in at ground zero at 12:30 today. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice deep hole. We're at, 17, 18 feet here. Well, I say that we just keep running this road then towards the house. I mean, the river towards the house. We still have, 3-4 hours of daylight. Just keep it going. Nada. So.
It's kind of a nice hole down there anyway.
Oh, it's a great hole. There's nothing in the hole. How many other public boat ramps do we have within a 5-mile radius of your house?
There would be one that's kind of down from Giant Springs, but that area is like under construction.
We have the dog down here, heading out a rural road.
Right.
For me, it still puts this like that this isn't part of the 5-mile radius from the house. To me, it's almost like we have something that direction.
And these ponds, these lagoons, these kind of, that's like I said, that's the only other thing I could think besides the river. We do have these other couple areas that I talked about that are farther out, past the dunes that we have potential of, but they're kind of, they're possibilities.
You had 2 other pins.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. One of them is a pond, and the second one is just a spot where the road and the river come together, and there's no railroad tracks and no guardrail or anything, and that people fish there. It's a nice walleye fishing spot.
This one here is where we started our morning at. Yep, and now we're talking about these. We have some daylight. Let's go knock out these. In fact, there's where the other green pin is at. Okay, perfect. I mean, it's just so shallow right here, and just anything, your truck's not going to go out there. So now that we've, taken a look at, our most likely with, Sadie and where she was at. Now let's take a look at this as though we never had Sadie.
Okay.
That was a part of the equation, and let's, take a look at it for, with fresh eyes tomorrow. And, I'm really going to take a look at the map tonight, and all right, here's where we need to here's where my gut's telling me that we need to go now.
Right.
Taking
Okay.
Sadie out of the equation and that there was ever any sighting or that she ever swam a river.
Right.
This is one of those things where you continue to, you don't want to keep stretching, like driving out here, like you are like, there's absolutely no way. And I'm like, absolutely no way this far out. You know, yesterday we've got Bob and Tammy's house. We've got the house that we're in right now. We've got the cell phone pings, the yellow ones. We also had another cell phone ping over here that's not on the map. You know, and then we have the areas of interest for Bob that we went and hit. And then we have the dog, just the heavy concentration of the dog. What time was Tammy last seen? Where was the dog seen? What time? Who saw them? It's bringing us back to what are we missing? Is the dog a decoy or is the dog...
Yeah, I don't know.
If you want the dog taken care of, why did we not just leave the dog home that morning? And where's the cat? We know that normally somebody is found within 5 miles of their home. So let's finish tightening up and really search the 5 miles close to home for access points. I know that we've got a boat ramp here. We've got along River Road here by the water treatment plant where you could accidentally go off. So we're looking at this 2 ways. Is this an accident or was this an intentional?
Yeah.
But why the dog down here?
And the dog wasn't a swimming dog, and it was said that it was swimming.
Yeah, on day two.
On day
two,
two,
the dog swam across the river.
Yeah.
You know, and then we wrapped up late last night by driving down to, you know, down here when we ended up getting held on, and you know, and that one just became a big stretch. One, because of the distance, but also because like it's just like bumper to bumper down there.
Heavy traffic.
So we're not dealing with a heavy traffic area. So that's why we took that one off the list last night. Okay, so we have Bob's house up over here. We have over where we're at is over in this area. And so taking us to the close access point from the house or houses that we're at to triangulate this, we've got this boat ramp right here that we have not searched. We have a hole right here.
Right, yeah,
It's a
yeah,
possibility.
yeah, we really haven't, you know, that's definitely worthwhile looking at, you know.
Okay, we need to search this thing. This one, stop number 1 this morning. From there, we then come down to River Road, or River Drive. This is where, if we look at the timeline, a camera picked up what they believe was the Colorado pickup. We have a couple of access points to where, you know, there's some pull-offs, there's some rocks, but there's other places where there's no rocks that you can drive a vehicle off into the river. And they're fairly straight shots too, coming around here. It's like, at just that moment in time. Again, we're looking at this 2 different ways. Accidents, you look down at your phone, you can go off, or intentional, you have the opportunity for both on that one. But if we come up past the airport and Sun River up here, here is a pond that we've not yet seen, we've not searched. And if we're talking about a intentional, this is fairly secluded that you come in over here on this side and you can get, you know, on the south side here, you know, still early in the morning, secluded, we need to clear this one. From there, again, this now brings the dog back into it. What we need to come back down closer to the dog again. And again, dog is decoy, dog is 100% part of this. Dog is only wet on day 2. Dog is not wet on day 1. So then if we come back down, you know, we ended up doing all of Big Bend down here. And so we covered all of this river. The great thing about this, a lot of you say, hey, you know, Jared, you guys need more of a woman's perspective when you guys are doing your searches, and you know, can you involve more women in this? So lucky for us today, we've got Katie and Jim here, and put us into the mind of what you feel may have happened.
I was thinking that, yeah, she got rid of Sadie, made her safe, you know, the dog.
Okay, so with that, why would she not have left the dog just home with Bob?
Because then he would have known something was up and it gave her time.
Okay.
So, you know, or maybe while she was out, that's when she started the thought process of now, today, this is what I'm gonna do. In my thought process, I would go to a whole other place, somewhere where they wouldn't be looking for me, somewhere further from the dog, because they'd be looking where the dog's at.
Right.
That's just where the people that I know, my family, would be looking there, because that's where the dog was.
Well, and that's where we're looking too. So
Right, yeah,
we're all
you know,
thinking the
dogs,
same right now.
you know, the dog's there, the dog's looking for me there. I'm like in the Sun River, I'm like in that pond,
Do you think we need to scan the Sun River? Because I mean, it's not that far for us from the boat ramp to actually just run
to
the
go
river.
up that way. I don't know. Yeah, I would think so. And if only that pond, because they're in there. The Sun River too is right near the airport, and there was a ping at the airport with your cell phone.
Which brings us over to the pond and Sun River.
Right. And you know, in my experience with cell phones and pings, they're not exact.
Yeah.
They can jump. So I'm saying that area is kind of.
So we just need to knock. So we're there. Let's knock it out this morning.
It would be a good area to start. I don't think Missouri is exactly it. We can check that boat ramp. I think that'd be a good spot. But let's go move that way.
Okay. We've been so hung up on the dog, and I don't know how many of you are, hung up on the dog too. And where's the cat?
Yeah.
And like you said, and I didn't even think about that. Like she come over, was the cat sick and dead that morning?
Right. And that may have been the trigger that set it off.
Because the cat is 16 years old, and so was it she was taking the cat with her, like we're all going out together, or was it oh, the cat's now gone. Now this is one less thing in my life that I have to worry about.
Yeah.
Or that Bob would have to worry about if I was to leave behind.
Yeah.
Thanks, Katie. Like after day one, what are your thoughts and your feelings and what we've covered? And then just, you kind of said just having us here has been therapy for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like your approach, Jared. You might be better off just going back to the start and just saying, hey, we're focusing too much on the little information that we had, and none of that's worked. So let's look at places that I haven't even thought of, or reasons that I haven't thought of. So that's what I'm excited about for your visit here.
I always hear my wife in my ear. She says, Jared, you don't always ask the right questions. She's like, I listen to podcasts and the murder mysteries and I want to know more about the backstory. Who is Tammy as a person? Where did the two of you first meet? And tell us a little bit more about your relationship over the years. And I mean, 42 years. I mean, that means that you liked each other. You guys did things together.
High school sweethearts. Got married right out of high school when we were both 18. Tammy, you think that just because you know somebody for all the years that you know everything about them, and that just isn't the case. She had, issues that she kept inside of her that she wouldn't let go of, that would just bloom occasionally. It does help me to talk about this stuff. It's hard to discuss that with family and friends, more or less, with your audience here. But I just enjoyed a great life with Tammy up to this point. I wish I could continue it on. So sorry.
You guys really,
sorry. But anyway, it's this, Jared, I don't know that much about you except for, looking on your video. You got a heart of gold. You've probably started out as just like, let's find vehicles in the river. Let's try to help out families that are coping with this. Now your forte for me is psychiatrist. This is I can feel that it's helping me to talk about it.
Well, and we kind of touched on this first thing yesterday morning. Before we even got started, shortly after we even met, it's like you and I have already been friends for years, and we're just getting back together for a purpose.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And that we're friends that are stepping up to help another friend.
So hopefully, if anything, if I thought about how I could pay it forward on all this, the kindness that not just you, but a lot of the community and people stepping forward to helping out, looking for Tammy, that, if, God forbid it was something that we couldn't save Tammy over the years, that somebody else might be able to benefit from this and save themselves or their loved ones,
And part of that, restoring, is, paying it forward. And we hear this often, a lot of you, the viewers say this, restoring faith in humanity. And that's, by sharing this, with the world, it's like, the world is a really crappy place right now. But this is coming back. helping your neighbor. Well, we took the clues that we had yesterday, you know, those ended up being, you know, a dead end for us yesterday. But, you know, we have a new plan today, coming back to here's how we would have approached it right out of the gate had we not had those clues. So let's take what we know today and just start the search fresh. So jump in the RV with us and
Great.
let's go for a ride.
Sounds good.
I guess straight off the assembly line, it better be better.
I just wish that you and Jim would both get some sonar and we can have 2 or 3 boats out here. Location number 1, the closest boat ramp to Tammy's house, as well as the dad's house that we were at. Nobody that we know of now has ever searched from the boat ramp up. It's always been like put in, and the focus has always been that way. So we're gonna clear this area right here to the north, and then we're gonna jet down to Knockout down there by the water treatment plant, Doug. And then from there, we're going to then cut into Sun River. Jim, let's get on the water and go see what we can find today. Explain this one to me. Go ahead, just turn, gaze, and give me your thoughts on what you see out here. Oh, there's more than one.
Oh yeah, there's 3 over there.
So is this like art?
Around here, I've seen some strange things for art up here in Great Falls before, so I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh yeah, it's art. Yeah, they intentionally put those there. All right, that's cool. So we're probably a half mile to 3/4 of a mile from where we started right now. We came up this little slough called Sun River, and not all of it we need to search, so we were able to like do a lot of cruising. But what we are interested in is coming up next to this bridge. You know, there's some access points that, you know, it's kind of hidden, kind of secluded, and that's what we're looking for, are where there's no foliage, where there's access points, and where it's, you know, kind of secluded. So we're gonna do a little bit of scanning on both sides of this bridge, and then we're gonna head up just a little bit further for another access point that we're interested in. Now we're only 7.5, 8 feet deep, so plenty deep to hide a vehicle. And the water is definitely murky and muddy, so nobody's gonna see it if it's 2 to 3 feet underwater. All right, so we're now out of Sun River, which is over there. So we started at the boat ramp, we did all Sun River. We're now at the water treatment plant. This is the first of a few little access points. You know, if again, we're treating this as an accident, you come around the corner here, you can come off right here into the water. So we're gonna search this area here, and then there's going to be 2 or 3 more access points down around the corner that we're gonna end up searching. This area makes sense for sure.
The search net is getting tighter and tighter.
Yeah.
You know, the scope of possibilities they're getting cut down a lot, you know.
Yeah, we cleared Sun.
So there's a positive in it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where we come through, we check the boxes, you know, and for the families too, it's that we've given them an answer as to where we no longer have to search.
Yeah, right. Push. New trailer. We need more room for more equipment, more searching.
I agree.
More efficiency.
So which way is up? This is up? Like mine?
You see, mine has like 2 handles on mine. See how much better that Tohatsu is? Yeah, so I lay it on that side.
This side up?
No, I lay it towards, oh yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Well, this is the handle side.
So, yeah, I have no idea.
You do have 2 handles on that sucker.
I do.
Well, mine actually lays this way. So are we going to assume that yours is like mine?
Sure, let's do it.
From the same factory?
Yeah, let's do that. Except mine has 2 handles. His is more difficult to carry. Now I missed, what was the name of this lake?
Wadsworth Park.
Wadsworth, okay. So it looks like we have a couple of access points on this one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but if we weren't so close to the airport, I'd suggest that we throw up the drone and check how shallow it is, but since we're so close, we can't fly the drone.
You gotta abide by the rules.
Absolutely. Well,
Now put Sam and Doug in the boat. You want to go scan?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go scan. Just as we were coming in, I could automatically see, you know, that road right there. Then actually just looking maybe over here where this white truck is. But we'll get on the water and start sonaring and see where the deep spots are.
There might be some areas on the other side of the lake. You know, and the big thing too, like take a look across the lake over here. Like you have the bluff, the ledge coming off of that as opposed to more of a driving in. So like this, we'd normally rule out because it just gets too shallow, you're gonna get stuck there.
Yep. But there you got more of a jump with the drop off.
Where that fish is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Later. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drop this down in. Get our sonar all set exactly where we want it. This is the 360, and over here is the side scan. We are running a live scope as well. Look, it's super beautiful out here, just endless sky. Just look at that, man. So yeah, we'll start running the square, we'll start running the lake, then work our way in. Right now my speed is at about just a little over 2 miles an hour. So we're throwing 75 feet, so I'm actually gonna go out about maybe 60, 65 feet out. On the live scope, everything's really flat. Everything's really flat over here. We have a few weeds and things popping up. So anything, you know, that's down there, you know, will pop up in a big way.
Smooth bottom?
Yeah, smooth bottom.
It should be. This is pretty much man-made, right?
Yeah, and right now, right here, we're already at 3 feet. Yeah, cruising at just a little over 2 miles per hour. Still, the depth right now is really shallow. So here, it's definitely deep enough. The bottom is extremely flat. I can see, you know, on the live scope how flat it is, and also, you know, on the side scan, that's pretty much just, you know, dirt and mud. Anything down there is going to stick out like a sore thumb. Starting to see some man-made structure. Actually, it's got some like a square right there. So it was on our left side, it's right there. So we'll go ahead and put it on our right side this time just to double check that. The structure is only showing that it's sticking up a foot. It's not.
Definitely not a car.
Definitely not a car. All right, turn this back around and keep going the way that we were going. I'm seeing a couple of shapes. They don't look like they're big enough to be cars, but I just want to double check. So I'm gonna go ahead and get another straight run at it.
And as you guys can see, relevant to where cars can come in, you can see the truck parked right there.
And the reason I'm going out a little bit and then turning back around, because as I turn, there is some distortion. Yeah, I really like to hit this, you know, going straight. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I want to make sure to hit that at a couple different angles. The object looks about 9 feet. Might be able to go right over the top of it with the live scope. It looks like it's just off of this bench right here. Yeah, it looks like it's about the right size, shape. Now I will confess that Jared is better on sonar than I am. So Jared's walking over. I want to show him this picture. I don't know what your thoughts are on that one.
No.
Not at all?
I don't think so. Is that your best image you got of it?
Yeah, that's the best image I got.
Let me put my eyes on it.
Yeah, all right.
So one of the great things is, you know, you were able to identify that we have some type of an object down there. That's the biggest thing. What we now need to do is we need to put ourselves right over the top of it, because now we're going to be able to use the live scope. Then that will actually tell us exactly how tall it is. Your side imaging really can't tell you how tall it is. All it has to do is casting an image and a shadow from the side. And you said the depth was about 9 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. And straight up from the bench?
Yep.
Okay. And this is where you have an object, but now, how tall is it? How wide is it? How long is it? Okay, so we're 54 feet to the left. There's, like you said, right where the bench is at.
Yeah, other than that, all we've seen was, you know, something about pallet sized over there.
Okay.
Nothing, about 3 of them, same shape, nothing to write home about.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. No. Hold on. Almost looks like a upside down. Some wheels, possibly.
That's
Right here is what we're looking at. Upside down.
Yeah.
I want to get right over the top of it, get a good down imaging of it. That's my next goal with all this. Yeah, it's only 2 feet tall.
2 feet tall?
For that. Up to the right there still. And I have shadows. Here's the thing. See how it's not a solid object?
Oh yeah.
And see, you can see right through it. But what is it? Let's continue to get over the top of it and see if we can identify more of what it is. But like you said, it could be a set of pallets, and a lot of fishermen will throw things like that in here, so that way they can come back and fish that spot.
Yeah, it tracks the fish.
Yep. All right, it's 2.5 feet tall.
Definitely not tall enough.
Yeah, it's also not wide enough either. I think it's a pallet that's standing up on end. So, so it's standing up there.
Gotcha. Yeah, thanks for a second set of eyes on that.
Hey, you're welcome.
I was like, man, you better, because you see it more than I do. I said, yeah, I better have Jared take a peek.
So where does that take us from here? I think that it's going to take us back down where the dog was at. I think there's one location further south along the river that we want to go check that one out. Once we do that, then we start moving inland from the river and start checking some more ponds over there. We have like 0 cell phone service down there, so let's make sure that we pull coordinates on that stuff right now before we go.
So what is that, about 100 yards? 150 yards?
To the river?
Look on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause look there. Yeah, because we're here. There's the river. This is where Jared and I, we really hit that area really good.
Right.
Zoom in inland right here.
So that's his house. That's just at the end of this field.
The house we just passed, 1 o'clock on Thursday.
Yeah, correct.
Right now we're going to the house 5 a.m. on Friday. So Sadie doesn't leave this area, but we have roughly a quarter mile. So in an hour and a half, she travels a half a mile that morning. First spotted at 5 a.m.
5 and then
over here.
6:30 or something. Yeah, so for some reason she was wet next to the water right at first light, and then decided to start moving down west, Wilson Butte Road.
So Doug, I mean, that brings us back to this area.
We pulled back over here. Like I feel like this is like where we need to be.
You'd be coming up to a Y if she would take, from here, if she would have went up the hill, then that's where we're going inland and maybe to the Hutterite colony and such, where we might do some more.
We're close enough. Let's go hit the Hutterite colony real quick.
So one of the biggest things that led us to this exact location was, this was actually the exact location where her phone last pinged. The reason we're going to be using the drone is because the drone has a special polarizing lens that will allow us to actually see in the pond. The pond is shallow and clear enough that once we put this in the air, we're going to be able to see whatever's in the pond.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. You can see
Oh yeah, it's 100%.
all of the pond. 100%, no problem. All the way to the middle. All the way across. So yeah, let's just clear all of this. If only they were all this clear and shallow, right, Doug?
Yeah.
Clear. Look, we already cleared half of it now. Yeah, this pond is 100% clear.
In regards to where you guys searched yesterday, I know we cleared the whole side of the road. Did we 100% clear the whole side of the other side?
No, we didn't touch the other side at all because there's no access over there.
But there is.
Okay.
Every house has access, and we don't know who she knew. We don't know who she knew, and that's a big part of what we might be missing.
I think the big thing why we didn't even go to the other side is because you have the dog that was always, for 30 hours, the dog was spotted only on one side of the river.
Let's say she went in on the other side.
Okay.
Dog swam out to the other side.
Okay.
Moseyed around, didn't know what to do, got back into the water where it came from, and ended up on the other side where it came from.
So go to Big Bend, put in, run the other side of the river 5 miles up like we did.
Or how about we go back down to where you wanted to go, even further south, and then go up from there.
Let's go clear. I mean, because we cleared one side of the river. Let's clear the other side of the river. We don't find anything today, then we can come back and address the other one tomorrow. As well as let's have a meeting with the sheriff tomorrow as well. And then, okay, let's go do it. minute.
It's like a little afternoon boating picnic. Just the two of you and Sam.
Heck yeah. Hopefully it turns into more than a picnic.
So many comments to be made right now.
I mean, you know, I don't know, that came out right.
All right, well, you guys have fun.
Is that your motor?
What's that?
Is that your motor?
Yeah, this one's mine.
Good.
Top's off right now too.
You start.
Oh. Turn the fuel on.
That'll help. There we go. Helps if you have fuel, Doug. All right, here we go. All right, you set down for now, so you can keep your salad. I'll let you know if there's anything exciting going on. So we're just coming up to the first place of the dog sighting, which was just over there. Earlier, or yesterday rather, Jared and I ran that side of the river. So we've covered a lot of ground here on the river. And actually right now, most of the river has been, you know, really shallow. We're talking 3 to 4, 5 feet. Right here, it is 8 feet now, finally. We're actually getting to the point where the dog had met up with the other dogs, which is just over here between those trees. The RV is over there now.
These are the dogs that were actually, you know, barking, that Sadie had actually, you know, recognized and knew this property because they would come over this property. So, what's going on? So that's what brings us over to this side of the river. Something again, we keep being drawn to, why was Sadie here? And with that, the way that Tex was acting right now.
Yeah, the little speckled dog was going pretty crazy over there.
Yeah, it, almost like the dog's never been in the water, but almost like the dog was like, hey, I know something's out there. Sadie was swimming the river here. Sadie wanted to get over it. For some reason, maybe all speculation, was Tammy on this side. Vehicle goes in. Sadie ends up in the river, disoriented, swims to the other side, is seen on the other side for the next 2 days, and then finally makes the attempt to swim back over the river when Sadie's found the following day.
Yeah, so I don't know.
And like these two dogs also know and are a part of it. That Thursday, how far up was the water on the ramp here?
The water was this high right here then.
So what we know is that we don't have a back current. We know that the water was up. We know that that's now going to give us 7 to 8 feet, Sam.
Yeah.
And with a stronger current going that direction, but even up 6 or 7 feet, we know we're not going to be heading past the island because it really spreads out and only gets to be a few inches right now.
Right, yeah.
And so with that one, let's just run this entire section. All right, so right now, Doug, we're down 7, 8 houses. Yeah. Which is what Bob was saying. About 8 houses down is where Sadie was put in the garage and then put on Facebook, lost and found. So right now we're still, we're still at 9 feet here, plus the river was up another 5 feet or so.
Yeah. Definitely fits in towards the statement that she had expressed to someone where she knew she found where 15 feet of water was, she wouldn't have found.
It gets really flat across there. So let's just keep taking it. Like right now we're entering a hole. Like right now it's 12 foot in this hole. Something that is 4 feet tall. I'm trying to get a read on it as to how long it is. And it's about 11 feet long. It's got a square shape to it, but I can't pick up any windows or... Alright, so it's 17 feet deep right here. And it's right here. And if you look at it, that is roughly 12 feet long. Roughly 3, 4 feet tall. Throw the magnet. Let's just see if it's magnetized. It's 1, 9, 10, 11, 12 feet.
bouncing? No lock?
No lock.
Let it sit on the bottom, and I'm gonna drive you right over the top of it. So do you feel any bump or anything?
Yeah, oh yeah, I felt the bump.
But it's not, but it's not catching.
It's not catching.
So it's not a magnet. Okay, so I'm dragging you right dead center over the top of it right now. No, that's not metal. It's just like an old duck. So what's happening is that you're just dragging to the edge, it's catching this edge, and then we're pulling off the edge. Okay. Like if it was metal, like we would pull and it would lock on. Yeah, it's an old duck. You know we have metal with a bone. Okay, well let's go over it again. And that is a bone. I mean, I don't feel like that's a part of a truck. But what's really weird, we're right on it right now. Okay, that's right on it, but it's not catching and it's too flat. So, I mean, I'm going up and down the entire log right now. Yeah, I mean, you got nothing on that one. Well, hold on. But then right in front of it, like, is that a windshield? I don't know, Doug. Let's put the magnet back down there again. Like, do we have two items there? Do we have maybe like a log up against the truck? So do it again and I'll show people your magnet. So that's the magnet bouncing. Bounce, bounce, yep. Nice and shiny. So it is 2 feet tall. We're coming up on it. You're 4 feet away. You should be hitting it right now. You should be making contact, so you should feel it. Yeah. But what I'm looking at is something underneath of it is kind of my concern as well, you know, the river sand, 3 years, something else running into it possibly, and jamming everything up.
You want to go this way over it and just see?
Yeah, I'll go straight up to the knoll. You should be coming over it right now. See, at that angle, I've got two different things pointing up on it at this angle. But I'm still square. I mean, everything is so square on it. Are you locked?
No.
You're not locking?
No, I'm not locking. It's definitely snagging it. Definitely snagging it, but it's...
So just an old dock then. I'm ruling it out.
Yeah.
95, 98% ruling it out. Yep. So look at that. Ooh, actually ended up with a bone that we brought up that was wedged into the metal with this attached to the magnet and everything that we brought up. So I'm not saying that has anything to do with Tammy. I'm just saying that we found a bone with a piece of metal on an object in a deep hole, but I don't believe it to be a vehicle. Where the channel goes on the left-hand side of where it gets shallow, you have that last ramp that comes in right before you go into the bend there with the eddy.
Got this little swirl in there.
Yep, it's right there, probably 15 feet from the ramp. And what would you say, we were probably 25 feet out? Yep.
So downstream from that, where you don't see houses, that is a city park.
Okay.
It's undeveloped. Nobody really goes there then, but there's public access to that.
Okay. This has been down there for so long that was actually, you know, had been fused onto that. So I'm gonna go 10, 15 years on that, especially the way that's worn. I wouldn't say that's anything that's new. But of course, I'm no doctor either. Going into day 3, I think that we need to, let's go ahead and meet up with the sheriff tomorrow. Now that we have 2 full days in, let's bring as much coverage to this, you know, so that way we be like, hey, you know what? Jared and Sam are in the area right now. Doug's in the area. Do we have a big search going on? Who else may have, you know, let's put that reminder out there, because somebody 3 years ago and somebody a year ago may never have even seen or heard anything on the news about it. Let's continue to work our way north, you know, and that's kind of why we started at the park today with, you know, with the boat ramp, because that was the closest public ramp to your house. But let's keep moving towards the falls and see what we can find that way.
Okay, all right.
Bob's house is up here. We're currently down in this area. And so our location that we're going to begin searching today is, we noticed, KT that's been with us is the first to have noticed this little slough down here that none of us noticed, which kind of brings us down towards where Sadie was actually spotted down to the south. But this is actually tucked back behind a little marina, and if we look really close, there's some little single cow trail access roads that can get you back into this slough. Taking us back to day 1 and day 2, there was a statement that Tammy had made where, you know, in joking with her friends is, hey, there's a spot that's 15 feet deep in the river, you know, and, you know, maybe someday I'll just, you know, end up disappearing. You know, we test the waters of things that we say that are seriously, we see how they're received, and then we always throw a JK or LOL or something behind it. But they tend to have facts behind them, you know, factual statements behind them. So we can't leave any stone unturned. So we are going to make our way down here. You know, at the time of Tammy going missing, you know, was this, you know, is there a gate here? And, you know, did Tammy use that gate at that moment in time? In fact, that's not the gate, that's a house there, a little bit further south here. So right here, is that a gate or is that a shadow of a telephone pole that would then bring her into the backside of the property here? Or, you know, did she use one of these other cow trails here, you know, come through this field and into the slough, or this cow trail here, or this house right here also is a by marriage, you know, relation to the family as well. So was somebody maybe not home there? And again, we have no idea. We just don't want to leave any stone unturned, so we're going to check this entire slough. That's going to be our first stop this morning. After we do that one, we want to then jump back down to the south of Big Bend, where, you know, we've called ground zero because of where Sadie was found, and in doing so we want to check out, in fact, here's our Big Bend here. This is the boat ramp that we put in on both day 1 and day 2, but over here off of the Russell Ranch Road is where we can get to this Big Bend up here. And so we have a couple of potential locations to get into the river, but we do have access to a family friend's property right here. So we're gonna go ahead and put in here, after this first location, this will be our location number 2 that we're gonna run down and around the bend and double check all of that.
So the next section that I had found some anomalies with my equipment, starting at this point that's called like a Woodland Estates subdivision that's got a boat launch on the north side of the river. So Tammy's friend all the way through high school, her folks live out into this area, so she has some familiarity with that. And then this is all really deep right in through here and then down around the corner. We want to look over here, and it's not very far upriver from this, so it would be maybe a good, you know, take care of 2 things with one launch here.
Yeah, so I would say let's just put in at the one point so we're not crossing the river. It's going to save us time throughout the day. From there, we'll regroup, so if we can meet up with the sheriff later on today, we'll see if potential media as well, because we want to make sure that, you know, this story stays out there. Whether we're successful today or not, or later on this week, we want to make sure that people know that we're in the area as well to, hey, maybe it's going to trigger something for them that, yeah, hey, there's a pond over here, or something that somebody may have seen back then that they didn't even hear about on the news. Maybe they've never even heard that Tammy was missing. Or maybe there's just a, you know, truck that's been sitting on their property forever that they never knew where it came. You just never know. Let's get this day going. So this is the by marriage, the property that we're at right now.
Correct, yeah.
And then we saw a couple of other locations to where, like 4 or 5 locations that a vehicle could absolutely get into this slough.
Yeah, they were nice enough to give us permission to get in here.
Farm fresh eggs?
Farm fresh eggs?
Farm fresh.
Perfect.
You know, we don't know what kind of pockets are in there, so let's go check it out. All right, let's cast off and let's go see if this is deep enough, Sam.
All right. You.
Any guess on the depth here, Bob?
Oh, it's like that.
We are a whole 1 foot here.
1 foot, 1 foot only. So Bob, on day 1 and day 2, we really didn't talk about this, and you know, these are questions that our viewers will want to know, but you know, you and I had a private conversation yesterday, and you know, part of that conversation is, well, what if she ended up leaving with another guy? And in our conversation, I mean, there was nothing in her phone records, there was nothing on Facebook, there was nothing in her private messages or emails, and her girlfriends never had any indication of that either. So I think that, you know, we just kind of want to put that, if that's okay, that we put that out there for the viewers, so that way they can just put that one to rest.
You know, I can't say anything absolutely for sure, but you know, the chances of that, you know, with my interaction with Tammy and her close girlfriends and sisters and everybody else, is that that was just, you know, it would be a surprise to everybody if she had any inclination to be with anybody else.
Yeah. Plus, you know, coming back to Sadie. Sadie was her best friend. She would have never left Sadie behind for anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, still pretty shallow, Bob. We're only running 0.9 feet right now. Well, our big area of interest is going to be, you know, right down here around the corner, because this is the marine property, marina, and then we have the no trespassing posted, keep out, but it has access through there, and then, you know, we have 4 or 5 more locations down past that as well. So.
You know, you grasp at straws when you're looking for a missing person, and one of those is just looking at, and I kind of separated those into mediums, psychics, and dreamers, and that different people that just have visions that want to help and just trying to give us a clue of what to look for. You know, I'm a born skeptic with some of that. It's just too eerie that there was a lot of similarities, you know, what they were seeing, envisioning. And one of them is that Tammy was not in the water. It's just another grasp at straws.
You know, and so yeah, you whether you call it grasping at straws or just having an open mind, that we don't know. And right now we don't know where Tammy's at, and we don't know if medians, you know, have the ability to put us in the right location or not. I mean, this looks a little bit deeper. We don't know. Yeah, we're in our deepest part right now, 2.7 feet. That's the deepest we got out of the slough.
Man, that's a whopper.
But you know what? We just checked another one off the list, though. Zip zero, zilch.
Unless we had a 9-inch tall car, you know, I don't think we're in a little trouble. This is a Big Bend boat launch. I've been here 30 times, I'm sure, until, you know, when we find Tammy or find some other clue, I'll be here 30 more times.
And on this one, we're actually heading up from here, because this is where we have the big bend that comes around.
A very remote, easily accessed point, and some place that Tammy and I and Sadie had visited in the past, so I know Tammy was familiar with this.
Right now we're here.
Yep.
You're going to run around the bend here, and then this is where the housing development is.
All right, guys, so I got Bob in the boat now. We're gonna head upstream and hopefully find something. We came down the river to this spot here. As you guys can see, there's a road that comes in, and then there's a pump house. They got the boat launch and the pump house. So we just wanted to come out here and make sure to roll this area out. I'm only showing, actually right here, it actually got deep. I think I'm showing about 7 feet here. I do see a few logs and sticks and different things, some rocks.
We're working our way down the list, and this was one of my my least possible areas, but we're still trying to rule out.
Yeah, we definitely ruled this out, so we're gonna go ahead and cruise on back and jump in the RV and head on down to another spot.
Very good. Yeah.
First off, we got down to the pump house, but also we spent a lot of time going through maybe about 10 inches of water, where actually we had to use the pole as a stick to kind of guide us. And during that, he was on pole and I was actually moving the motor, and And he goes,
Where's Bob?
Bob just fell out of the boat. He came up laughing and smiling though, so that's good.
Let's get Bob dry, and then let's switch over to the other side.
And I was just thinking that was, you know, you sure this just wasn't some kind of initiation to the boat?
Yeah,
Sam?
welcome to be part of the club, Bob.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
So this is like the access. I was thinking that Tammy would drive right down this, and this is way deep and all the way around the bend down over into here. This is where we can kind of...
So we'll put in here. We'll search this one first, and then we'll head up to the other little public access there.
Okay.
Just from this location.
You know, they're all laughing at us, Jim.
Gonna get wet?
Yeah, with the big thunderstorm right there. Get a little bit of hail starting to hit. Look at it, it's starting to hit on the water here. Yeah, we're in trouble. Nothing will stop us. We're scanning, here we go. Every ramp we go to, I mean, I just want to be so hopeful that it's like, this is the one, and then nothing but a sandy bottom. Get upstream a little bit. And go check out that public access that's up here. So there's the public access. We just bottomed out with the motor. We just came up to 1.9 feet, 1.8 feet. So this one, way too shallow right there.
Well, I ain't been out like this in a while.
These houses up here, Jim, are the ones that we wanted to get around the bend to check out one of the access points. And this access point that we're after is right down here. You see with the white house up here?
Right.
And that road just comes down. And I believe that this is just to the west of this is where they had the dogs that we're at, Tex and Jesse.
Right.
Jess, is that his name?
Jesse and Tex.
Jesse. That landowner also used to own the land just north of this as well. And so we want to check this one and one more around the corner. Then, if nothing there, then we turn around and head back. Good news for us though.
It stopped raining.
It stopped raining and hailing. Neither one of us got struck by lightning, so that road that comes down right there, that's a hole, 10, 11, 12 feet, back up to 8, nothing in the hole. Another one checked off, Jim. Again around the corner. 2 more spots on this big bend up here. Go check those off.
About all 4 seasons out there, didn't you?
That was great. You know, I was feeling a little bad that you were the only one that was wet. So
I could see that. Yeah,
Jim and I, we definitely did our part to join the club. Oh, you guys look pretty dry.
Yeah, we were in there hanging out, taking a nap, nice and dry.
We had the pre with the lightning. We even took our hats off, just in case the lightning came.
Oh, you had that little metal tag.
Well, actually, I took my hat off first, and then I felt bad that I didn't tell Jim the reason why I took my hat off, because I'm like, if my hat's off, he's gonna get nailed and not me. But then I felt bad. I'm like, Jim, this is why I took my hat off. And then he's,
if I go, we both go.
We have to go to the house. Go to the main house. And the dog has been our hang up. in all of this. We have to take the dog out of the equation right now. Okay, so a few things I've been looking at. So focused on the dog being down here to the south, off of the road on where, where Sadie was found. Which then brings us to the potential of Tammy taking Eden Road down for just a nice morning loop drive that's going to take her down to Eden, onto Milliken, that's going to then bring her back to Ulm, that's going to let her, then jet up the interstate to come home. We have 3 different access points right here at the Ulm Bridge. You have one on the west side, you have one on the east side, and then you have one on the south east side of the river as well. We still have some daylight right now. Let's go check those 3. Then we come along the, we have this road that's coming out of this 3rd one. We can have an accident scenario. We also have coming along the road here that as we checked it, we actually don't have a guardrail along this area either. So we have another potential of an accident just going over the edge. So that gives us, 3, 4 all within 500 yards here for us. Let's make this our main focus while we stop daylight, and then if we can get to this last location, we'll go get to this last location as well, which is coming down Milliken, and this is taking us to the Smith River. And so if we come down Smith past Thule, we don't know what the depth is here. So that gives us 5 locations. It's 5:20 right now, 6 o'clock by the time we get there. I know we can knock that out. Let's see if we can knock this one out as well.
Okay.
Okay, here we are. We're right in the town of Ulm. We have 3 really easy access points right here within about 100 yards of each other to this river. They're all accessible just like on ramps like we have here, right where we're standing, on the other side of the bridge, and on the opposite side of the river. So we think this is a really good place to check and keep our fingers crossed. We'll get it done. The river's flowing this direction.
Correct.
So we're gonna check from here down, probably based upon the flow of this river, 100 yards. We'll go ahead and, scan it 200 yards anyway, just to make sure. And then same thing with that ramp and that ramp. And then we also have the potential accident along that side as well that's going to go up about a quarter mile. So
just upstream from that first abruptment is there's all kinds of something down in the water over there. It'd be nice to just have a little closer look at it.
All right, we got 3, 4, quarter mile. I say half hour, 35, 40 minutes. We'll knock this out right here. Like Bob was saying, it's more shallow over here. In fact, I'm at 4.5 feet right here. All right, so there's an old bridge support, and so we have an old bridge that went across here. There's the old bridge, and so that's what this is right here. This is, I say it's part of the old bridge support as well, but we're gonna double back and check that one. So that one interests me, and then this one is the new bridge support. I don't think it's a vehicle, but it could be a vehicle upside down, but I just don't think so. So let's go put ourselves right over the top of it and see for sure. All right, so what I have dug on this one here, so we can see that plain as day. Now I'm looking for a good down imaging and a good side imaging of that other object that was right here. And so it's actually pushed up right against that, kind of right in line with it. So we have the old bridge pillar and something between the old bridge pillar and the new bridge pillar that's sitting right there, which Bob had a question about as well. So we're gonna go put ourselves right over the top of it so we can get a good read. It's not showing up on live scope, like coming up, and it was still on my right, so like I said, it's like right in line with that. So I'm almost thinking it's just part of the old bridge, but until I see it on live scope and down imaging, we won't know how high it is. Okay, it is 3.5 feet tall. I think it's more of just a tree or something that's over here. So it is, it's only 2 feet tall, I believe. Only 2 feet tall, so it's not tall enough. Oh, we got something else there too. Right here, it's gonna pop up on the screen here. Or, wait, what is that? Is that a wheel?
Oh, it kind of did look like a wheel, dude.
And that's 4 or 5 feet tall. Okay, so look at these your grid lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 feet tall. But that could just be your old bridge piling there. Yeah, see, I think that's your old one. I'm looking for what's between that and this bridge here. So we need to come back over here just a little bit. Okay, so we're coming up on it. That's a tree log. I can clearly see that's a tree log, I think. Oh. You're gonna say no, that's not a tree log.
No. I just feel like it's snagged, not like magnetically snagged. Yeah, I'm off.
Yeah. You're off now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it's not metal, and it looked like a branch to me that we were on.
Yeah, whatever I snagged, I could feel it bend and move. You know, when it snagged it and I pulled it, you could tell it had some give.
Yeah. Okay, coming up on it again. Yeah, see that's not, and I can see the branch. So you see the tree branch, right? So you have a log, tree branch that comes up and over. So that's what you have there.
Yeah, it's definitely a tree.
A lot of give.
Yeah, I'm bending it.
Yep. All right, well, let's keep scanning. Yeah, we just got real shallow. We're down to 1 foot here along the highway. So that knocks out 1, 2, 3, and our 4. So we need to pack the boat up and then make our way down to where it would be an intentional. So we have one more spot along this. In fact, this river, this is the Missouri River. We're gonna go on the Smith River next. All right, let's hit it.
Yeah, Jared, this is way too shallow. I mean, look, it even kind of bottoms out over there. You can see all the ripples.
Take this off the list, you know?
Absolutely.
You know, it looked promising. It's just, you know, we're gonna have to take it back to basics tomorrow. For sure.
I agree with you. Basis for you means what?
Right back to where the dog was.
I agree with you.
I mean, if we were off by 10 inches, we were off by a mile, right?
I think that where the castle is at is our farthest point upriver. Let's really take that and move out further into the river, and then come down to where the dog was seen twice, the day before, or in the afternoon as well as the next day, and then also where the Tahoe was found. I think we really need to search that one more, really banking that one on an accident scene on that one. We don't know if we're dealing with self-harm. We don't know if we're dealing with an accident. We don't know if we're dealing with foul play in this one. We're actually going to do a Carfax report this morning as well.
So the importance of checking the Carfax is to get a legit, thorough history of the vehicle. So the vehicle's been missing for 3 years. Any type of major reporting, it's going to log in under that VIN number. Carfax is going to be able to tell us everything about the vehicle that's been reported.
And Carfax, by the way, is not an episode or a sponsor of ours today.
Okay.
I'm just going to throw it out there. Carfax, we could definitely use a membership. So if you don't mind hooking us up, this would definitely help out other families that we're out there with, just so we can, you know, see, like I said, Carfax has actually solved other cases in the past. History of events. No accidents, 4 previous owners, 12 history records, 12 service history records. Year purchase 2008 for owner 1 and 2, owner number 3. So you guys acquired it in 2015?
Correct.
So in Montana, last reported mileage was 108,146.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, so nothing on the vehicle. So
right.
So our heavy concentration today is going to be where Sadie was actually seen multiple times. You know, Sadie was seen at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the day that Tammy went missing.
Correct.
Sadie was seen at 5 a.m. the next morning.
Correct.
Sadie was spotted again at 6:30, and then multiple times throughout the day moving north, down river. Now you've done some heavy foot traffic over here searching this area. Now we're also going to end up putting in at this property here. Now this one has a nice little private boat ramp, but it also has a pond. So this pond has never been in question. It's never been searched either. So while we're here putting in, let's just go ahead and clear this pond real quick.
Then once we're in the water, we're actually going to head south, which is upstream. And the reason why we're going to head upstream is because this home, if I'm correct, is where Sadie was seen early Friday morning.
Correct. Yeah.
Around 5
the next
a.m.
morning, early, right at first light. You know, pacing next to the river and wet. Yeah, so it's
Oh, so she was wet at this
totally.
location
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. That was the place she was. The next morning, that was what was odd to the homeowner. Was she was totally wet, head and everything, like she'd been in the water.
So heavy concentration here because Sadie was in this area for almost 24 hours. We're heading downstream, north towards town, passing, you know, Fisher Island again, where you guys are doing the heavy drone search, because this is straight across from where Sadie was seen again at 6:30 Friday morning, and she was also seen at 1 o'clock the day before on Thursday. So after that, we're then going to, you know, look at additional accidents along the river here, because there's a road that runs right along the river, and we're going to bring this all the way up to this little bend here where the Tahoe was found, and then we will all meet up over here. You guys will move the RV and we'll meet up again at John's property to pull out, which is near where we also ended up finding, you know, those bones a couple of days ago. And so we have, you know, like I said, this is the entire stretch where Sadie was seen. I don't want to believe that Sadie was a decoy. I think we all want to believe, hey, today's going to be the day that we find Tammy. All right, let's get in the RV and let's head on down.
This pond was one of our question marks. At the end of the big field where Sadie was at day before and the morning of. This time of the year, the homeowner had drained it down. Another question mark off the list.
Yeah, we'll put in the river here and we'll go check out this. I didn't know this until this morning. Sadie was actually wet at 5 a.m. that morning.
Oh wow.
At this home down here where we're gonna go.
The one thing I found out that was really interesting with Sadie then is Sadie liked to get her feet wet, but that was about it. Never really swam, nothing. And then that day we ended up locating Sadie across the river. And then when Bob recovered her and took her home and whatnot, she had a hard time walking upstairs. I have some friends that are pretty familiar with dogs and they call that swimmer's tail. And if a dog's not used to swimming so much, they're using that as their oar or their paddle. And but Sadie never swam. You know, if you would throw the stick 4 feet out there, she wouldn't go get the stick. And so that was why was Sadie having swimmer's tail? The day after she was located here, and then we recovered her on the other side, so one way or another she got across, but I don't know, that was always something that had puzzled me.
Well, you know, and so we had always known that on day 2, you know, later on in the afternoon, she was found at John's wet.
Correct.
You know, as you just mentioned. But it wasn't until this morning, just now, that we had heard that she was actually wet.
The day before.
The day before.
Yeah. On this side of the river.
2 confirmed days where she was known to be in the water, malnourished, you know, dehydrated. So when she was found, she was completely out of it.
Yeah.
You know, she wasn't used to it. And I mean, yeah, that says a lot about why we're here in this specific area, concentrating here. I mean, we've cleared it, but now we're gonna double clear it. Maybe there's something we missed.
Yeah, it looks like Doug's already in the air, droning. The brown house that we started at is just down there. That is Dave's house. Now Dave owns that house, he also owns these homes, and Dave is the one that at 5 a.m. on day 2, on Friday, day 2, he's the one that spotted Sadie wading in the water, like pacing back and forth. Like Sadie was really nervous and worried and not leaving this area. And then at 6:30 later on that morning on Friday, Sadie was seen about a quarter mile down the road, you know, from here. So that we really have a heavy concentration of Sadie staying in this area for 24 hours. And so that's why we're really going to be focusing. We're going to move further out in the river. We're going to be heading upstream a little bit more. You know, maybe, I don't know. We don't have any answers. That's why we're here today. So heavy concentration in this area. Let's start scanning it, Sam.
So we have a big rock field over here, so we're getting a lot of shadows that we're casting over here with dark that we can't see. So we're gonna want to move over there for another pass. Another castle. Do you know how many castles are in the area here, Sam?
Oh, I've seen at least like 3 or 4. Look at that swirl there. What do you see on your sonar on that swirl?
Yeah, nothing for that swirl.
Oh, we got.
Holy.
Ooh.
We might do. Okay, we're going back over there. Like when it popped up on LiveScope just now, Sam.
Ooh.
This is no joke on this one. Careful, we're gonna go over it. Like this is one of those feelings where my heart just dropped.
Yeah.
The way that it just popped up on LiveScope, and the way that it just popped up, and I was going to.
I didn't see LiveScope. I saw after.
I'm gonna put you on both right now.
All right, yeah, let's check this out.
Okay. I'm gonna have you have this little road right here that comes off right there. Finish right after that. Right there. That's suggesting too much. Okay, look at that. You have wheels on that. That's a truck.
Wheels, truck.
There should not be a truck right here.
No, definitely not here. How deep are we?
9 feet.
9 feet?
Yep. Yeah, we're in a location, nothing should be here.
Yeah, wheels.
Like at this location going upstream, when I first saw it on LiveScope, it was like window.
Window?
I'm trying to find where it's at. It's off to the right over here. I need to drift back over there, and we're not getting a good read there because I'm going at 0.6.
Yeah, you look at that. See the little circle there?
Yep. That's a truck.
Oof.
And we are definitely dealing with a truck, Sam.
Which would make 100% sense as to why the dog is hanging out in this area.
Yep. Holy. Okay, look right there. See it?
Yeah, looks like you're right over it.
Okay, let me.
See if we get that window shot.
There's window. See the wheel right there?
Yep, yeah, I see the wheel.
Okay, throw us a magnet on it.
Alright, let's get some magnet action.
Go ahead and just drop it, and then I'll see if I can just drag you right over the top of it.
How deep are we? Oh, right.
10 feet.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Okay, we're coming up. We're 4 feet away. 3 feet away. 2 feet away. You should be hitting it right now. I mean, I see wheels on it. Now we're past it. Yeah, it'll come in to the side off of it for you. Okay, bounce. Okay, you should be hitting it right now.
Oof.
You should have a solid lock.
No, it slipped off.
Solid lock.
Solid lock.
Metal?
Oh, yeah, it's metal.
It's not coming off.
That's not going anywhere, man.
Yep, you're on it.
All right, let's run this line over the rocks, tie it off, get dressed.
I find that this is always the most difficult part. Telling Bob, telling the family, telling Bob. Just like we've not even put eyes on it yet, but we've been here for 4 days. Dog was spotted here. No other vehicle in the entire river in 4 days that we found. And now it's time to tell Bob. And it's like, this is the Ethan knowing, like, yeah, like you just know.
Oh yeah. Where'd Bob go? He should maybe just be up top. Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
What are you looking for?
You found something?
Yeah.
You found something?
We found a truck.
On
10 feet of water.
In front of the rock houses?
By the second castle?
The second castle. Further up.
So, what, I mean, it's a pickup?
It's a pickup. We've not put our eyes on it yet. We're going to put the boat. We're going to load the boat. We're going to go down. We're going to dive on it. It's a solid vehicle. It's the size of a pickup truck. It is not a car.
Mm-hmm.
It's on its wheels.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, I don't want to get my hopes too up here then, but it's been the best news that I've had for 2.5 years here.
Yeah, until we actually put eyes on it. We don't know for sure, but right now, it's one of those feelings that we've had several times. Like, this is the energy, this is who we're looking for. Let's just confirm what it is that we have.
You let me know what you need then.
Okay. So this is the rock house that's for sale on the right. And then we're gonna go past that, the house straight in front of you. The other castle house. You go past the house and you're gonna see a driveway that we can go back down. Got it. Driveway right here. You get back down. Can't see that, see it. Give everybody, to give everybody a visual from here. We have the RV here, the road here, the house is over here on the right. There's the rock that Sam and I were at, and it's just 20 feet out from that rock right there. Just don't drop my trailer off the edge of the road.
I know some divers.
How you feeling? It's been 3 years for you and your family.
I'm a bit of a shock right now. I know when that Gene and Sandy, when they located that Tahoe, and I was on the other side of the river and seeing that get towed out, weird feeling, yeah. And found out sooner than later that it wasn't the vehicle we were trying to find, but then it made my instant concern of, is this closure for another family? Yeah. It's off of our plate now. Can we help with another family? And then luckily enough, there was not a body in there. And it was closure for the sheriff's department, if anything. But we'll see what happens here now then.
Yep. I want to make sure that you are comfortable with everything we're doing.
Right. I understand. Exactly.
Do you feel like?
Right. I'm totally comfortable with it.
No. I'm saying, do you want to let the sheriff or the detective know right now as well?
Well, I mean, that might be, with maybe the landowner's call on, on that, if, wherever we're at on his place. But no, I don't.
But like right now, I just want to be able to give you and them a solid answer.
Okay.
So this is how we normally do it.
Yeah.
But again, I want to make sure that.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we're here for you.
Okay. Yeah. But this is, I'm still in kind of a little bit of a shock here right now. I don't know. This is definitely out of my element. But I agree with you totally on the sheriff that until we actually know that it's the vehicle.
Okay.
So we'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good. Yep. At the end of the day, we have the way we like to do things, but at the end of the day, as we've mentioned,
family.
We respect Bob, we respect the family, and we have to do what puts them at ease and makes them most comfortable. So, in the meantime, we have a little bit of time to get ready, and we'll be ready to get in the water when he gets back. Look at that. Nope, that's just marble. That looked like a back window.
Oh, it did. Did a back window or a piece of that black paneling or something.
Yeah. Any other evidence? When you come to scene, like what is it you're looking for to?
And I mean, in a situation like where we're at right now on the side of a cliff that kind of has a downslope where you take into consideration a car would have hit somewhere on the cliff first, the cars typically tend to explode.
Right.
You know, parts go flying everywhere. You know, you got bumpers, license plates, all different types of plastics, and yeah, I mean, if something hit the ground here on this hillside, there's going to be evidence everywhere.
So what's not making sense to me as to if the vehicle went in here, okay, one, you're going to have a whole bunch of stuff like you just said, but then the way that the river's running, we have no back eddy here, and the vehicle's over here. But if we're dealing with intentional, was that gate open?
Yeah, all right. You know, 3 years is a long time. And talking to the landowner, I'm sure we will learn a lot more about the status of that gate when it happened.
But then is there something up here, another 300 yards?
I mean, I think we've learned not to discount any theory until you know.
Yeah.
But if you judge by our past history of removing more than 100 cars out of the water, we know they don't move far.
Check out just the coincidence of the dog similar to Sadie on the other side running back and forth right now.
Yeah, I've had a few coincidences.
Yeah. If the windows are up and we cannot see in, we will not pop any windows.
Okay.
The reason for that is upon recovery,
yeah.
we don't want to have anything escape the vehicle during the recovery process.
Do you know the license plate?
It ends with an A.
A?
I want to say 204A.
Three 2932 04A. Freaking believable. Unbelievable. I was just telling Michael I got a waypoint on this point and I just blew it off. I just put my stick on that at one time. And I was hopping right off of one of these rocks over here. And totally blew it off. It was like looking at this going, there ain't no freaking way that's a car. I can't believe it. I knew where she was. I found her before, and I just didn't see you. giving up on you guys. No giving up on you guys.
Thank you.
I can't believe I'm holding this thing in my hand.
I have confirmation for you too.
What?
Tammy is in there. One of the windows for passenger, the front passenger window is down.
I need something.
Okay, you jump again, Michael.
Sweetie. Why? Why? Oh man. Oh man. Okay. We found Tammy. Sadie helped us find Tammy.
They were inseparable.
It's my it's been my dream that Sadie would help find Tammy.
So Sadie was the key in all this.
Sadie did. We would have coming up here if it wasn't for the dog.
Wow.
We would have moved on to a different spot.
You guys are unbelievable. Thank you. Okay. All right. You guys do what you gotta do. I'll do what I gotta do. I know that the rest of our family is dying to hear this news. I'll let the sheriff know, let the police know, and let the family know.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I think he does.
These are the gentlemen.
Sir, how are you?
How you doing?
Good. You sure?
Yeah, Sheriff's Letter.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jared.
Hi, Jared.
Sam.
Hi, Sam. How you doing?
Good.
Doug. Hi, Doug. How are you?
Nice to meet you. Yep. We'll
Appreciate it.
head down and get them some guidance real quick.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Yes, sir.
Justin, Sheriff's Office.
Jared, pleasure
Nice
to meet you.
Jared.
Sam behind the camera here.
Sam, nice to meet you, man. What was your name?
Pleasure to meet you.
Justin.
Jason.
Yes, sir.
Jason and Jay.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Jason as well. I'm the lead investigator on the case. Perfect. Welcome. Thanks very much. Absolutely. So we're here to assist you. So if you need anything from us,
It's on its wheels.
it is on its wheels. And so it's on its wheels, facing upstream, about this angle right now. And all the windows are up except for the passenger front window. And with that one, we were able to identify, actually look inside. We do have human remains in the driver's seat. So we did pull the plate. In doing so, Bob's holding it, close to his chest right now. This is Tammy to him. So we don't believe that the vehicle came in here. It looks like you have a ramp that's down here. You have zero damage to the vehicle.
Okay.
So, our belief right now is that the vehicle floated and then settled in right here.
How intact is the remains?
It is well preserved. Really? Yeah. So the full leg is still the full leg right now.
How far is that ramp you were saying?
About 100 yards up there. 2 J-hooks on the front wheels. Perfect with the rotator.
Yeah, do you think Ox could get down in there?
That's going to be up to Ox, I'm sure, but if they're good with that, it looks a little steep. If there's river access over here from this house, it's a nice smooth transition and load up.
Tow truck driver named Ox. That's better than somebody named Doug.
Doug.
He is. I wonder where that went. I was looking for it.
So it just became what it is now.
Yeah. Jared, first of all, before I forget, we just learned that their tow truck driver's name is Ox. Much cooler name than Doug. So
yeah, I think I saw Ox at the shopping center the other day. Green and black truck.
We might be replacing you.
No, we're not.
We might have to give me a nickname.
We can change your name. Yeah.
You said you got bags and all that?
Yeah, we can.
How deep
It's
is
10 feet right now.
No, in the silt and sand.
Yeah, 8 inches. Okay. Yeah.
Here, you have deer swimming in the river right now, guys. Look at that. See them?
You know that represents us, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. That's awesome. If you guys have sonar a pathway to that boat ramp, I think that's the best way. Sounds good. Let's do it. Thanks, guys. Yeah, appreciate it. Just watch your step, brother. Watch your step. Just flip your end over there.
What we're doing on this, just to make sure everybody understands what the sheriff was asking of us, is that we put the boat back in the water because we're going to run from where the truck is located up to the closest ramp up there to make sure that for us, if we're going to float the vehicle, we have enough clearance that we feel confident that the truck is going to be up high enough to make sure we can clear all that. If not, then we can look at some downstream options as well, is what we need to look at after that.
I think if we give it any type of controlled buoyancy, they can pull.
You think it's good?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I trust Doug. Doug's the tow expert, so heck yeah.
You act like I haven't floated any of these before. Do you not trust my?
No, I trust you. I trust. This seems like a long way when we're already here.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's why there's 3 of us, because
one of them's gonna have the right answer.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. So what we have is we're at 4.6 feet here, so we don't want to come this way with it right now. It gets too shallow. So out where the vehicle's at, we're 7 feet right here. Go right over the top of it. We're 10 feet here to the bottom. So what we're looking for is a nice 10-foot swath between here and there. We can do that all day long. So we're coming up on the vehicle right now. In fact, here, I'll show you. So, up on the vehicle right there. And then you're going to see it right here. Can we see it right there? Yeah. So we just passed it right there. And now we want to try to keep a nice 10-foot path up to that boat ramp. So if we stay out from shore a little bit, 8 feet. No rocks, easy bottom. Oh, we have another boat ramp right here too. There's the one, possibly that stuff wasn't there before. If we can get to that one. If you can get to that one without, with a boom, you don't even have to float this. I would prefer to do that.
Yeah. I like this stuff.
You're still at 8 feet here. I mean, you got to move that stuff, but I mean, that stuff is movable. That might even be the one that she came in at.
When we were standing over there, I didn't even see this one. I had my eyes on that. This one makes more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, because even though this isn't outside of the realm of possibilities, that's quite a travel. This one's much closer.
Yeah, if we can talk them into moving on a rotator on that one. And no bags, keeping it flat. But we do have an 8-foot channel here too. So we can make this one work if we need to. So far. Yeah, so we can, now we're at 15 out here. Starts to get deep here. So bagging required.
On this one.
On this one.
No bags
on the other. Shoot the other one.
So I guess we'll tell them what we see and work with those guys.
Okay. And then if we do need to bag it, so I mean, if it's J-hooks,
easy.
I put you on it. I'll do it.
Yeah,
By
one.
yourself.
Yeah, bags.
If
I'd like you
both
to join.
of us, then 2. Yep. All right. So yeah, so we have. I mean, so we get down to 5.5 feet here. No matter what, we're still hitting 5.5. So it is kind of sketch through this section. Let's go sideways here. Really, we do have a 5.5, so we could bottom out over here. Let's go further out into the channel and see if it gets a little bit deeper.
All right, you want to run from that? You want to run from there to the truck just to kind of see what the straight shot would look like?
Yeah. Oh, you mean actually taking the path that
the path
vehicle would take?
Yeah, let's take the path the vehicle would take if we go here. Getting out my dry suit was a really good decision.
Yeah, so we got 8 feet here. 9 feet.
There's Bob.
Yeah, my sugar boo. Hey, sugar boo. Boo boo. Boo boo boo. Boo boo.
We have 4 10-foot chains. Doug is grabbing some shackles and some lift bags. We're going to go ahead and attach 2 lift bags to the front of the vehicle. And we want to make sure that when we do lift this here, that we lift it with the passenger side more coming up. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and throw some lift bags on the back so we go ahead and get this thing lifted up out of the water. And from there, the boat down there is actually going to start towing it. We're going to tow it out and over to that ramp way down there. Then from there, we're going to connect the line from the tow truck to the Colorado, and we're just going to pull that thing right out. It should come out nice and smooth.
So we're going metal on the bag, so anytime you go metal, you want to go metal to metal.
I got the twist lock shackles instead of screw because twist locks are more efficient.
Yep. In fact, I may not even need the, actually yeah, I'll use those because I'll do twist locks here and then the twist locks there. Now my other concern with this is that we have all that silt in the truck. So I mean, this thing could weigh 12,000 pounds.
We didn't use them all either.
On the dive boat behind us is a Corey. He's part of the local search and rescue team. So he's going down to take some pictures of their own, so that way they can document, you know, everything for evidence if they need it later on. If this happens to be foul play, they have that for court. Take the camera down so you can go. Thank you.
Down he goes.
He's just gonna preset the bags with just a tiny bit of air in them. We'll cover the window and then we'll fill the bags up.
So right now, I'm attaching these lift bags on this line. That way we can use this as kind of like a zip line heading down. That way Jared can just grab and go, go, go. So we're getting all this prepped.
Yeah, that back wheel, driver's side, was giving me a little bit of an issue. It buried in the silt.
Okay.
So I kept digging it out, kept filling it, kept digging it
I
out.
was wondering what you were doing. I was like, yeah, he's actually that spot for a while. I told him, I said, what time is it? He said 5 o'clock. I said, okay, 5:10, let me know. I'll come down and check.
I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, we're looking out for it.
I have all 4 chains hooked up to all 4 wheels. I'm now taking 4 bags down, going to attach them. When we take them down at any current, we always put like electrical tape around it. That way the current doesn't take the bags while we're transporting them.
and then we open them up. Once I have all 4 attached to the chains, I'm gonna come back up for a fresh tank, not for my air, but to fill the bags. And then from there, we're gonna put a little bit of air in each one of them. That way, they're up, they're out of the way, but we're not floating anything. I'll then come back up to switch out the tank, as well as head back down with the mesh net to put over that window. After the net is on, we have a fresh tank. Then I'm going down and we're gonna pop it.
So he's going to go ahead and cover the window that's open with the mesh bag, and then slam those magnets in the 4 corners to make sure that that stays intact and nothing's coming out other than water.
The biggest thing is how much silt is in the cab. That's one of the big things we have to worry about. And then there's not too much silt in the back, but we're still dealing with probably 800 pounds in the back. So, I mean, I always think about it as a concrete bag. How much is a concrete bag? How much space is sand taking up? So, I'm gonna say 800 pounds in the back, which means we probably have 3,000 to 4,000 pounds in the cab. That's my guess right now. And then, if for some reason that's not enough there, then we'll use the open bottom. Let's pop them. I'm going down, I'm gonna fill them all. Once you wanna be engine on, make sure that's all the way tied off. In fact, you guys will want to make sure you have all the slack out of the line so you're at the end of the green line tied off. So I'm bringing the nose up first.
Good on air?
Good on air. I've got 1,200. Plenty.
So that green line is connected to 2 lines at once. And if you want to have control of each side of the vehicle, you can if you want. You got 2 10-inch chains on J hooks to each, chained up to each front tire.
Hey, let's do this. Let's just loosen this one. Okay. On top. I don't know where that other one's tangled up at. Let's loosen this one for a moment. Okay. I'll bring it around the front of the grill, and then that should allow you to get your head. Lift out. Somewhere we got the lines twisted underneath. We're not quite sure, how they're hooked up at this point. We thought this one was to the right, that one was left. And it's got twisted. So what I did just now is it was heading across the hood. So we took some slack out and we put it underneath the bumpers, what we ended up doing. thing's deflated and out of the way, so that way we can see if we can get to those A-arms with the J-hooks. Oh, we've got a ton of tension on this other line. And I shouldn't have any tension on it. Okay, I'm gonna go under and see if I can hook this A-arm real quick. I'm holding my breath, which is the worst thing in the world for me to do, Sam. Because I'm no good at holding my breath. Well, I have the spare air.
The RV? In the trailer?
Yeah.
Cool.
My trailer's not right here though. Pull tent. Tighten that one. Okay, here we go.
First tonight, the case of a local woman missing for nearly 3 years may be finally solved. A vehicle possibly belonging to Tammy Goff has been found in the Missouri River in Cascade County.
Tammy Goff was last seen at her home in the 2100 block of 7th Avenue North in July of 2018. She was seen driving to the south end of Great Falls with her dog. The dog was found the next day.
Human remains found in the truck pulled from the Missouri River in Cascade County earlier this month are those of Tammy Goff.
Friday's discovery will be the 9th cold case in the U.S. the team has solved in the past roughly 14 months.
A lot of what we do is about education. So as a coroner, what does the coroner do from here moving forward?
So the coroner's job is to determine the cause and manner of death based on the circumstances.
Okay.
So I know there's been a lot of investigation going on with this, and we're going to have to just further investigation of this case.
All right. Well, you might have a cat in there as well. It's part of the story from what we gather.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Your family's never gonna just say, oh, thank God that grandma's gone or mom's gone or sister's gone. So please talk it out. You take your medication, go to your therapy, work it out. I just enjoyed a great life with Tammy up to this point. I wish I could continue it on. I'll never stop loving her.
We've discussed things like this in the past.
with the mental struggles, the health struggles that some people have in life, and how Adventures of Purpose has brought all of us together. That we do get emails, almost daily that says, you've been able to save me. And with Bob and his story, he's like, Jared, he goes, this is, some families have like these dirty little secrets that they just don't want to talk about. They want to hold them to the chest. But I feel like Tammy's story needs to be out there, because although I know that Tammy is no longer with us, Bob's words, in sharing this story, I hope that it can help somebody else. This is your story, this is our story, this is Bob's story, this is the story of sharing it around the world, so that way maybe a family in need will be able to see this, so we can go help them as well. On that note, we appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see you on the next one.